Hello, everyone. I think I'm supposed to be doing the intro.
Just make it up.
Is everyone there? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Aussieverse. We are here today for the horror film spectacular, where everyone talks about their favorite horror films and cultural items that have to do with horror. Hello, Whack Comics. Yeah, there we go. How are you, Cliff?
Say something, Cliff.
And good morning to any Americans watching. As you know, I am co-streaming this, and I've titled the stream Aussieverse. And why the hell do I agree to these things? So, 5:03 a.m. I'm up. My poor mother is up, but that's not my fault. She did that on her own. All right. I don't even have my coffee yet. I barely know where I am. I'm happy to be here, though. It's lovely being with these lovely Australian people, you know. And I actually remember how to close Aussieverse if I am asked to this time. Bravo!
Yay!
Because it is for life.
It is for life. Always will be. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Aussieverse. It's going to be fun. We're going to be talking horror movies, horror comics, the horror genre in general. I'm wearing my Halloween t-shirt because we're going to talk about metal. So it's really appropriate for this time of year. Look at that. Pretty, isn't it? Cool. Who's next?
That's all I've
What's
got to
that,
say.
Mad Spidey?
That is the new stickers and the new business cards.
Ooh.
Ooh, schmeds.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, collectors of all ages, welcome to Aussieverse's live chat number 40. I don't even know. Okay, what's your favorite scary movie? We're about to find out, motherfuckers. All right, let's go.
Can I just say one thing before we start? You missed a perfect opportunity to say hello to our friends in New South Wales while wearing that mask going, hello, Sydney.
That is
No one else
right.
got it.
You know who else
Really?
we forgot to say
We're
hello
talking
to?
horror?
Wes Craven, yeah.
We know who else we got to say hello to? Our for lifers. That is Azrael85, the Fourth Monkey, Ali, Ben Sullivan, and Simple Simon. We really sincerely appreciate you people. And even though we share so much love with you guys, please remember that memberships in general is not required. The best way to support the channel is by subscribing and liking the videos. And as normal, we are sponsored by Comic Bookaroo, Australia's #1 online comic book store. Yeah. So, and now that all plugging is out of the way, let's get down to some loving. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a live chat talking about all sorts of horror things. It doesn't matter what medium it is. We're coming from America. We're coming from all the different states in Australia. Oh my God. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Feel it. Yes. Thank you. How are you guys?
I feel violated now.
I was gonna say, like, normally I like to have like a little bit of I like a little bit of like foreplay, a little warm up, you know.
Cliff blew his load already.
That's okay. That's okay. I can handle it. I can handle it.
I don't know how I feel about Lee's message to my partner right now.
That's another show.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what? Like Lee can try to slide into her DMs. You just slid into all of us metaphysically. So I just feel like, you know, I don't know. It's even. It's even.
Okay. So tonight is all about horror because it is October. That is the horror month. We do need to give a massive thanks to Cliff on Comics because Cliff, what time is it for you, sir?
5:07 a.m. currently.
5:07 a.m. Oh my freaking God. Like, don't get me wrong. We have to say we have to say thank you to Max. We have to say thank you to Simon. We don't need to say thank you to Steve. Steve because he's obligated to be here. But we have
Oh,
to
yeah,
make
good
sure that Cliff is especially thank you because he's getting up so freaking early. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We really, really appreciate it. Let's get right into it, okay? Horror. Do you guys individually like this genre?
Yes.
Steve
very
says
much.
yes.
Yeah, I love horror. Horror's great. Used to scare the shit
Uh,
out of me as a kid, but I love it
more-
now.
More
Absolutely.
when I was younger. I don't watch as much of it as I got older, but I wouldn't mind diving back into it a little bit. But yeah, I used to watch a lot of it when I was younger.
What changed or happened? Did you get like more sensitive to it as you got older, or you just didn't sincerely enjoy horror?
It seemed to start getting a bit repetitive, I think, and a bit like nothing sort of shocked me anymore.
Yeah,
So, and I think that was it. It was like once you've seen one, you've seen it all. But I suppose you could say that about a lot of genres. So
Wait till my horror comic comes out, baby. Wait till my horror comic comes out.
oh god, I've already heard some
What's
of
that
the.
going to entail?
It's what do you mean you've already heard some? What have you heard? I read a beautiful piece the other day that had nothing sexual going on. The two heroes lean against each other as the sun is rising after they kill a vampire. That was it. That was too sexual. If that's too sexual, the shit I got planned is terrifying.
Can I ask you individually what it is that freaks you out, that scares you, that terrifies you in the horror genre? Is there
By the way,
something specific?
For your first question, I hate horror. For your and part two of your first question, I got into horror as I got older because boys. So there you go. You know, you want to date men, you better figure out your horror genre. My favorite horror genre is gothic horror. All right. I learned that when I watched the 1963 The Haunting. I figured out where I fit. I consider the first Alien movie to be sci-fi gothic because the environment is absolutely terrifying. And I think that's brilliant. And that's also why I kind of like Alien Romulus. Now that I've said all that, oh damn, what was the second question? Oh, what is the second question?
What scares you?
What is it that specifically terrifies you?
Okay, anything that hits too close to home. So, oh my God, what is that series of movies? But like it's all connected to a coven of witches that are
American Horror Stories.
No, it's a movie series, and like the first movie is a husband and wife, and they set up cameras in the house, or the husband sets up cameras in the house.
Paranormal activity.
Paranormal Activity. All right.
Mm.
So the first Paranormal Activity, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. The only thing that hit close to home was like, you know, the maid like trying to use sage. You know, I was like, well, that's familiar. But Paranormal Activity, what is it called? The Marked Ones?
Yeah, I can't.
So
I can't remember too.
The Marked Ones freaked me out.
Cameras.
Yeah, so the Marked Ones freaked me. My camera looks fabulous today. Good job. Good job, baby. All right, so the Marked Ones freaked me out because like almost everything hit too close to home. The grandmother, it was just and the Latino family, and then like she went to a santero to like get help, and that shit was just too real. It was just too much. Like that is exactly. That they captured that experience perfectly. Like you go down to some bodega, there's a santero there, and if there is a santero there, yes, there's this gigantic door with like every pope on it, and like I was like, oh, this is too close. And I'm watching it with my niece and her friend at the time in the movie theater, you know, and like we're sitting there, and so you know the santero gives them these eggs, you know, to like uncast the evil spirit and stuff, and I'm just like, like I was like, this is just too much. And so then at one point, my niece turns over to me, and she's like, "Oh, go no, not abuelita, not abuelita." I was like, "I know, not abuelita." And then of course, abuelita's dead. You know, it was just such a pisser. But yeah, that one hit close to home, and Drag Me to Hell hit too close to home, because again, that woman is some variation of Santana. She knows how to do spiritual callings, and those, like, Sam Raimi, like, literally pulled that stuff right out of the playbook. That is all the stuff that made me super uncomfortable. All that stuff that she does to call the spirit and to dispel the spirits is right out of the book. So those freak me out the most. You know, Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, it's cute. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Right.
so it's really funny that you said that, Cliff, because I have two things that scare me and freak me out. But before I reveal what those are, the handheld camera movies like Blair Witch and what was the one that you just said? Sorry, the title?
Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal Activity. Those sorts of movies, I like to turn around and pretend to myself that is a real homemade video that a friend has given me, and I put it on the TV, and I grab the blanket and I turn off the lights and I watch it, and I convince myself that it is a real homemade movie, and that freaks me out. And that's what works for me with those. The other two genres that freak me out, because I can watch all sorts of blood and gore and all sorts of horror and not be scared at all. However, if you have a movie that is full of spiders, right? Like, I'm talking Arachnophobia is not so bad, but in the last year, I don't know why, I think spiders have made a comeback recently, but there has been a couple of horror movies recently with today's technology and spiders that has just freaked me the fuck out really, really bad. And the other one that freaks me out is the typical grey, big-eyed alien movies. Those freak me out, man. I can't help but be like, oh, when I watch those, because I think it's because I believe in those and I believe they're real. And I don't know, man, something about that realism for me freaks me the fuck out.
Did you ever see the movie Tarantulas?
Yeah.
No.
So that movie used to freak me out as a kid. So I just looked it up, and the one that freaked me out as a kid is called Tarantulas Deadly Cargo, right? And these guys are like on a plane with the tarantulas. So of course someone gets murdered by the tarantulas right on the plane, right? And then of course they arrive at their destination. They've crashed. They don't know why they crashed, but tarantulas, you know. And then of course everything starts to escape, you know. And it's like, oh, what's this? What's this bite? How did this happen to this young woman? Tarantulas. So, anyhow,
Yeah.
I was absolutely terrified by all spider creatures for the longest time because of that. And now I just swat them and kill them like nothing. And of course people yell at me. It's like, no, their life. And I'm like, yes, but they're invading my home. And like, I do everything. Spray repellents everywhere. And like, if that's just not working, if they're going to power through all of my methods, and you know, if I'm going to just keep blasting them day and night, I mean, then you got to go. You got to go. And hopefully they go to a better place.
You got to use a see-through like Chinese container and put it in, you know, and then you carefully negotiate it outside and then free it. And then
I'm sorry, did you just hear yourself? I'm over 40. I ain't got time for that. I got one leg in the grave, baby. We are on the move here. Everything is ticking. Everything. That clock is ticking so freaking hard. It is dangerous. Oh, Sharif emerged.
Hey.
Hello, everyone. Sorry for being tardy.
So going back to my spiders, there has only been one movie that I can remember. It might not be accurate, but there's only been one movie ever that I have literally screamed in and gone, oh my God, like, fuck me. This is terrifying. And it was this movie, Infested.
I'm pretty sure the movie Infested is based on somebody's adventure in hell.
Okay, why? Oh, volume.
Why do I do this to myself?
I just watched the scariest movie of my entire life, and it's the first time I've ever screamed out loud. Why do I do this to myself?
Claudia pissed herself laughing because of how much I screamed in that movie. I'm always the tough guy that doesn't ever get scared at stuff, and in that movie, I screamed like I don't know what. Okay, Steve, your turn, mate.
All right. So mine's a little bit different because I absolutely love horror movies now, but as a kid, they scared the shit out of me. Like, for instance, in year 5 or grade 5, as we call it here in Australia, my father, top bloke that he is, actually hired all these horror movies, and my mates watched them out in the other room with my family, and I had to go and sit in my bedroom on my own birthday because I couldn't watch them. I wouldn't be able to sleep. Grade 6, American Werewolf in London.
Ooh.
I got 20 minutes into that and ran screaming from the room and couldn't sleep properly for 4 months. It scared the shit out of me. Now, it's one of my favorite movies, and I giggle my head off every time I see it.
It's hilarious, yeah.
It's a great film.
I don't giggle, but yes, I've come to accept. I was at the same reaction, Steve. Except I genuinely believe the movie is still scary. That the transformation is a work of art, obviously.
It's brilliant.
But actually, the wolf actually on the loose is still pretty scary. They did a great job.
And speaking about werewolf transformations, just diverging for a quick second, have you guys seen a TV series? There's a British version and a US version called Being Human.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
yes,
we know of it. I know of it, but I've never watched it.
If you haven't watched it,
Bo was trying to talk about it. Yeah, Bo was trying to talk about it. Last weekend or the weekend before on Spidey's Outback? I think you were trying to remember it.
Yeah,
So
the name of it. I was saying how good English shows are, like some of them, and the Americans try to make them the same or better, and sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. And Being Human, I fell in love with, Steve. It was so freaking good, and the American version was not that good. And are you like me, where you were heartbroken, where the vampire... So for those that don't know, this show is about a werewolf, a vampire, and a ghost all living in the same house.
Sharing a flat in the UK.
Vampire was the vampire was kind of the main guy, and he ended up leaving the show because he got a role in what, Steve?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. And you can't blame the guy because any actor would have done the same thing.
Not Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. He plays one of the dwarves.
Okay. Yeah, but his career still didn't skyrocket or go anywhere, you know?
But it is an amazing series. And just talking about transformations, the guy that plays the werewolf, George, the transformation scene when he changes, and just to hear him scream and everything as he's going through the transformation, you'd swear it was real. It sounds like a real full-on agony. He absolutely nailed it. So
also told you, I think, theater actor. That's why.
Yeah. Very good. Very, very good. Just going back to what we were talking about.
I'm sorry. The way you casually said Russell Tovey, theater actor. I'm sorry. Russell Tovey is iconic. He is the moment. He is a gay icon for ages. Lee is here. He knows all about gay icons. I'm just saying, show the man respect, okay? Russell plays the damn Ray in the freaking Arrowverse, okay? We don't sleep around on him, all right? He is the moment, all right?
Yeah.
I agree. I like his voice. I'm not sure about it.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. Theater actor. Good Lord, people. What's the...
But I love a good monster movie now.
Lee,
they're my favorite. Oh, sorry.
Yo.
Hang on, Steve. Did you? So you're saying that what freaks you out generally is werewolves, or just that werewolf?
No, nothing now, which is weird. I love a good monster movie.
Nothing freaks you out?
Nah, good Frankenstein movie, a good, suspense one, a paranormal one about the devil, all that supernatural stuff. I love it. I like your splatter flicks a little bit, but I prefer your monster movies. And there's a couple of really good ones coming out. Unfortunately, I saw the latest version of Salem's Lot last week, and it was really disappointing.
Yeah, I've heard the
Really
reviews.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
How do you have a bar to meet? How do you not try to meet that bar?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, Lee, I know you think you're really cool because you're in the hood right now, but
He's a
I know
wizard.
you came late. But
It's a cardigan
talking
and it has
about-
a hood. It's a cardigan and it has a hood. It's the best thing that I own. I went to my sister's house and it was a bit chilly, and I asked for a cardigan, and she gave me this, and I was like, "It has a hood. I can't believe it." You know, I got a love of cardigans, and I've got a love of hoodies, and this merges the two together.
Okay, that is the saddest thing I've ever heard. Moving on, we're talking about what freaks us out individually in horror movies. So, do you have anything that scares the shit out of you?
In horror movies, the supernatural stuff like ghosts and shit. That's where it starts to really scare me. Like I can handle most shit, but yeah, the ghost.
Why do
stuff.
ghosts scare you? Is it because secretly deep down you believe in them?
Yeah, I believe in ghosts. I've never denied it. But yeah,
cool.
I think
I get that.
probably why
I'm scared of aliens. So, if you walked into your lounge room, or your bedroom or wherever right now, and you saw a ghost, what would your reaction be?
It depends. I don't know, because it depends what the ghost was. If it was
a
being
sexy ghost
inviting
in
or not,
your
if it was being hostile.
I'm not talking about a ghost. I'm not talking about a ghost in your kitchen jacking off. I mean, like just sitting in your lounge room.
Let me find that.
Just there.
Let me
Like,
let me walk in on that. Let me find out. Woo! We're gonna.
I would shit my pants and shit.
Activity.
I feel like if it was just standing there, like have that stop and that fucking hands in the back of your neck, I'd definitely shit a bit. Yeah.
Cliff.
Yes, sir.
Cliff. Would you do a ghost, or is that like something that is like no? You wouldn't do that. I don't know how to ask that question.
Are they hot?
Hey.
Are they hot?
Yeah, it's a hot ghost with sexy abs. And...
Do you think I care? Do you think I care? Do you really think at this age in my life where I am so quickly approaching 50 and 50 is so quickly approaching the end? Do you really think I care? And then what if you end up being sex ghosts, like the ghosts that were haunting the mansion in Doom Patrol, the series? I'm like, oh no, I have to spend immortality getting fucked by this hot guy. Oh,
those sex ghosts were freaking hilarious in that show.
They were fantastic.
All right, Max, tell us your deepest, darkest secrets. What terrifies you, my friend?
Commitment. No. Well, yeah, of course, it does for all guys, I'm sure. But
as you get older, bitch. As you get older.
Yeah. But yeah, I do have. For those who've seen me on the show before, I do have a formal education in film. So at this point, you kind of know all the tricks and the narrative beats and the tropes and everything. So jump scares really don't really terrify me, especially even if I didn't have this background. It's more the implications that scare me, the stuff that lingers. Like one film which I would classify as a horror film is David Fincher's Zodiac. It's a 3-hour masterpiece that chronicles the killings, the Zodiac killings in San Francisco.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yes, yeah, he plays one of the journalists who's covering the murders. And well, it's not a spoiler to say that they never caught the man or even got any evidence to implicate anybody to a solid degree. But when the credits rolled and it suddenly sunk into your psyche that the psycho is still out there, and that's something that you walk with out of the cinema back onto the train, the information, the emotion that lingers with you after the film as a whole, that's what that's what definitely straightens my spine, you could say.
I am so sorry.
God damn you, Max, and your smart answer.
That's please. The man's dead. That man is not alive today.
No. That movie came out in 2006. You reckon who would have been alive then, though?
He's probably too old to do shit. He's probably watching the movie from his rocking chair at his old folks' home, or he's like an old man drunk with cats all over the place that are gonna eat his body when he dies. Like, I'm just saying,
that's also depressing. Yeah.
Or he played it, or he kept playing this game of fuck around and find out, and he finally caught someone who beat the shit out of him, saying, "Oh no, I murdered an attacker. Who will believe me?" Buried the body in a damn swamp and moved on with their lives, And that's the ending that I really like, because that is justice.
That's best case scenario. Yeah,
that's a fabulous case scenario. But the worst case scenario, them cats had a good final meal, so I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay.
Yeah. Well,
look at Steve with his kitty.
Yeah.
Well, my minions.
Yeah. Well, yeah. To answer your question, yeah, that's definitely what scares me most: the lingering effects, the emotional, psychoanalytic effects of film, of any film, not just horror. I'm not really a genre guy. I like individual entries, and I judge them by those merits, not necessarily how they live up to the tropes of a particular genre.
Okay, I get that.
Cool.
I get that.
That's cool. Yeah, it's the build up sort of rather than what actually happens. It's all what happens on behind the scenes and all that sort of stuff. I guess Max, you'd probably say it's like the unknown sort of stuff. Obviously, you see the ending, you know what happens in the ending, but it's all the build up to it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if they do it well. I mean, you kind of know how the sausage is made if you've been on a set or if you've directed sets, which is why I absolutely love films that I can get engrossed in and forget all of that. Unfortunately, those are becoming rarer and rarer. The more movies you watch and the more sets you go on. But you get the occasional one that leaps out and you remember.
Mad Spidey, I am going to assume after you coming to my house yesterday that your genre is possibly ravenous cats all attacking you at once, which I have not seen in a movie. But am I correct in saying that is your what would freak you out?
Sleepwalkers, cats attacking people to death. Sleepwalkers.
Oh, that was horrible. The thing that scares me is going on Whack Live.
Don't worry about it. We haven't done Whack Live in like 2 years, man. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, and to be like as I said, I don't watch as many horror movies as what I used to, but I prefer like the creature feature type stuff. Like I love vampires and werewolves and all that sort of the monster stuff. Yeah, the supernatural stuff a little bit. But it's funny, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. Actually, some of the scariest that I've seen, but some of the ones that I love the most are actually a lot of the Japanese horror ones. So like your Grudge, the Eye, all that sort of stuff. Like they really do it so well that it actually does make you feel like you're there, and it freaks you the fuck out. But it's all, as I said, they're also some of my favorite ones as well, because they are like they do. I don't know. The Japanese just do horror and suspense and things like that just so well. Like, and obviously, there's been a few remakes by the Americans and nowhere near as freaky. It's just like, this is all right. Oh, let's get a semi-big name sort of star in there and let's see if it takes off. And that's all they're banking on. Hey, what's up, Tate?
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, nothing really sort of, and that's the thing, like the supernatural stuff, and this is funny, like actually it was about about a month ago, I'd never actually watched any of the Conjuring movies, and I thought, oh, I'll watch this, The Nun. I'll just see what it's like. I was like, nah. It was like 1 and 2. They were an okay movie, but they weren't scary. Like the Nun looks fucking scary as fuck, but didn't scare me though.
So Ronaldo and Sam, when we started watching The Conjuring for our trilogy season for this month, they could not make it through the first Conjuring movie. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm just like, I can't believe it. And it's really funny because we all have like similar / different like religious backgrounds, but like they didn't grow up with any santeros in their family or any of that stuff. So that stuff scares the crap out of me. They grew up like more like traditional Christian household. So I was like, this bothers you? I was like, what is this? I was like, I'm like, possess magical items? I was like, please, did you ever have a spirit possess your great aunt, lead her into the backyard and start digging at 3 o'clock in the morning to pull out some item that was bringing bad luck to your property and dismantle it in the fire, then be depossessed and bring the body back into the house? No, you haven't. You don't even know.
Can I just shout out? Can I just shout out? I don't know if he's sticking around and if he's still here, but my father has just made his first comment on Aussieverse Live. Thank you very much, Dad. I really, really appreciate that. I love.
Well done, Norman.
Hey, Norman.
Welcome aboard.
Next, we have Sharif. Sharif, how do you feel about being an Asian individual? How do you feel about Mad Spidey's last comment saying that your background freaks him out?
I can totally understand it. I can get on board with the Japanese stuff. There are a few other Asian ones at the top of my head right now. Is a Thai supernatural movie called Nang Nak. That one freaks me out as well. It's about this pregnant woman who died giving childbirth, and then the husband was distraught. This is in the village setting, and while he was mourning and grieving, suddenly the wife came back with the baby, and because they live in the outskirts of the village, they don't get to interact much with the other villagers, and so this couple just lived the life as as normal, and then so some of the villagers didn't see the husband, the widower, for quite a while, and then they got worried. They came by his house to check up on him, and then he was doing fine and said, "Oh, I'm doing fine." Didn't see the husband. Oh,
we've got some weird volume there. Sharif, keep going.
Yeah. So the villagers came and then said, "Oh, come see my baby. My wife is doing fine." And then he'll have his conversation with his supposed wife, and the other villagers were just looking at each other and, right. So okay, we gotta go now. So, and they left, and then they called their we call it their version of the priest, or the monk or the priest, to come and have a look. And then that's when all hell breaks loose. the wife, we get to see the wife in her true form, and and then they started battling in and around the forest, in the temple. Good stuff.
Cool.
Can we welcome to the stage? Oh, sorry, Sharif, keep going.
Yeah, as I was doing, but all the other stuff like body horrors, creature features, monsters, and all, I'm fine with that. But it's the supernatural, possession, hauntings that one creeps me out, because
just like me,
you don't really see it. There's signs that it's there, But then, oh man, no.
I'll answer this question quickly. Cliff belongs wherever the fuck I am. It's not a national thing. It's not a country thing.
Global.
It's just
It's a
manly
bow thing.
love that I. Yeah. What he disappeared. I was about to welcome KGB, but I think maybe he's having computer problems. KGB, if you're watching this, you're a guy that has commented on Aussieverse for a very long time. So if you can get your shit together and join us, that would be amazing, because I've never met you, don't know what you look like, but we really, really enjoy you. I'm guessing I've gone through everybody now. Yes, I have. Okay. So we've gone through what scares us individually. What do you want to go through next, everybody? Do you want to go through comics? Do you want to go through movies? Do you want to go through music? Shout it out. Okay, cool. So we're going to go through comics.
You know, I'm so used to speaking. I constantly hold back because, like, even at work today, I met my boss's today. I'm sorry, even at work yesterday, I met my boss's boss for the first time, and I just couldn't shut the fuck up, you know? And I could sense she kept saying, "What can we do better?" And I'm like, "This shit is running like fire." And I'm like, "You're like hinting, like, how can we get more billing?" Then she goes to talk to the person who runs my clinic, who, although I also have to report to her, is not my boss. By the way, you want to talk about shit that scares you? Okay, your boss's boss rolling up to your job to talk billing. Okay, I got neck pinches. I got this nerve damage here. I was like, you want to talk about bone chilling terror? It's like, I like my job and I want to keep it. Stop trying to make me do all this other extra shit. So, like, God bless you, Travis. Good morning.
Hey, Travis.
So yeah, then when I'm alone with my boss, he's like, "So, like, do you ever get?" I'm like, "We do not get stragglers, sir." I was like, "I know what you want me to do. You want me to corral the stragglers so I can bill them for another service." I was like, "I can see right through you." And guess what? I started in April, and I came up with a plan for that in May. And in May is when I developed this other thing that I do on Friday. I was like, y'all keep trying, but don't keep, y'all like to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But y'all keep trying to fix stuff that's working.
Okay, so Cliff raises a good point. Is there anything that freaks you out and scares you like a horror genre that is actually not horror at all? Like, for example, one thing that I can't stand is lots of spots. You know, like, it's why I hate Crocs, right? I can't watch something that has like lots and lots of spots. It just freaks me the fuck out. Is there anything that you guys have that might not be typically scary, but it freaks you out?
Are you talking about Crocs, the shoes, or crocodiles?
Crocs, the shoes.
The shoes.
Freaked out by shoes.
Oh, I got one. Let me go first. Swimming somewhere that has soft sludge or seaweed where you can't see. You'll just wade into the water and it just touches your feet and your toes. You go through it. No, I'm heading back to the beach.
The proverbial nails on a chalkboard.
Oh, good one.
That just makes me shudder. I can't do the nails on the chalkboard thing.
Yeah.
For me, it's actually going to a surf beach. As a kid, I pretty much got dragged out of the water because I'm pretty much drowned. So anytime I go to a surf beach now, I only go in about waist height. If the waves are too big, I'm just like, nah, not going in.
Really?
Yeah, true story.
Okay. You and I need to probably have an emotional chat after the show, I think, and I can cure you of that, Steve. Okay.
No, not that again.
Moving on. Comics. As a Jeff Lemire absolute diehard fan, I am going to assume there is one person in this chat that has a lot to say about horror comics, and that person is this guy.
What? He's so good.
How many
suppose-
cones did you smoke before coming on here?
3.
All of them.
Just had 3 quick ones. You got Gideon Falls on the shelf over there. Have you read Gideon Falls, anyone?
No.
Yes,
No?
we have read Gideon. Well, I have read Gideon Falls.
Yeah.
Who else?
Gideon Falls is a good time. That was quite scary. The cockroaches. I don't get scared by too many things, but cockroaches, the flying cockroaches.
Oh my god! Oh, the
Flying
worst.
cockroaches fucking get me. Like I'm seriously not scared of fucking shit. Spiders, I don't give a fuck about spiders. But a cockroach flying at me, that motherfucker had me under the blanket. So,
Can I ask you, right? What is it that scares you about cockroaches? The reason why I ask is because spiders scare me because they're so still, and then they're like lightning, and they move, and they jump, and they all sorts of shit. What is it about cockroaches that scare you, dude?
Not cockroaches, flying cockroaches. Okay. I don't care about cockroaches, but when they're flying, it's like that's when it's, as Claudia said, it's because they fly. I don't want a fucking cockroach flying at me. But that was some scary shit. The Bone Orchard mytho that Umir's been doing. There's I think 3 titles that have come out of that. It's like an anthology sort of thing that's building a world. There's been some really good ones out of that. It's on a bit of a hiatus at the moment, but I've definitely enjoyed everything from it. I can't think of anything else that's horror that Jeff Lemire did. Just those. Well, I suppose that's it.
I just grabbed
That's good because you've taken up enough screen time.
Tenement, yeah. What do you think of
Sharif?
Tenement 3?
Have you gone through that yet?
Did you read it?
No, I've watched reviews of it, so I quickly grabbed it. So I'm just waiting for it to arrive.
Yeah, Tenement was good. It was the longest one out of all of them so far, because the first one was just a really short graphic novel. The second one was like a 4-issue miniseries. What was the second one called? 10,000 Black Feathers, I think it was called.
Yeah.
And then Tenement was a bit longer, so it was good to have one that we got to spend a bit more time with. And that one definitely got a bit freaky, going into some different worlds and shit like that within this one building.
Yeah, that's exactly the reason why I got it, because it's 10 issues. I think it's the longest, the thickest among the 3. And during the review, it says you can read it as a standalone, but
you can read all of them as standalone things for sure. But like they have little things that tie it together, like little Easter eggs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Andre Sorrentino's art is just beautiful. The panel layouts and everything he does, he just makes everything feel so much scarier as well. Like, yeah, his art is beautiful.
Okay, can we just say, ladies and gentlemen, as a small YouTube channel, it is very, very humbling to have people that comment very, very often on our channel. And one of them is KGB, who I was about to announce and show on the show, but he's just disappeared. So now I need to go into a segue into something else, which would be, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen Cliff on Comics, excuse me, Lee, I am giving us promo right now. I'm going to make you small so it makes you not talk. Cliff on Comics, he is about, 800 to 900 subs, Cliff?
I'm at 850 something. So
850. Yay. Cliff is on the road to 900 subs. Mad Spidey is on the road to 700 subs. These are guys that you need to sub to right now, because not only do they have great content, not only are they absolutely wonderful, beautiful human beings, but this is channels that you should, not Legion of Comics. No, Mad Spidey. Is Legion here now? Why are you promoting Legion when I'm promoting you?
Because I was saying hello without interrupting you.
You literally interrupted him to say hello. Just do what I did and write it in the chat. You see the chat, just use it.
I didn't say anything.
You know what makes me You know what makes me amazed about Mad Spidey? The fact that he has his own YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. But guess what? He doesn't have internet at his own home. That is commitment to making sure that you have a good show at home, ladies and gentlemen. What makes me so excited about Cliff on Comics? The fact that he gets up at all sorts of times. Why can't I make him big right now? What is going on? Thank you very much. This guy is so exciting, so loving, so fantastically positive about everything in the community. If you do not like Aussieverse that much because of how loud and bombastic I am, probably don't go watch Cliff. Probably watch Mad Spidey. But still, these guys are absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. Now, we are going to still keep talking about the comics. Why did I not mention Whack Comics? The reason why is because he promotes human trafficking, and that's really a bad thing. So please unsubscribe to him.
I thought you got out of that.
Yeah, it's a pretty serious subject, but that's just the way it is. Legion of Comics, there you go. Now I see why you're promoting them. Hello, Mark. Very nice to see you. Why are you not in this show? We could really use you because we really all really like you. He says hi. Tate says hi. Harvey Pecker's Ghost says hi. Yo, yo, yo. How are you, brother? Cliff was so loud getting out of bed. I said, screw it, and got up too.
And Mark is a wealth of knowledge. Mark is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to movies.
Yeah, but you know what? If only Mark and I were in bed together. I was like, no one's hips would survive that.
That woman in a chair. For God's sake.
Clay, are you on Cat Patrol down there? Like, what's going on?
No.
Porn action?
She stays down there because she knows her place.
Ooh.
Mira, agárralo ahora mismo por los huevos y enséñalo. That's what I'm saying.
What did he say?
So in other words, kick his ass.
No, I'd probably grab him by the balls right now and show him a lesson. That'll teach him.
That's enough of my face.
If you want to grab the chair, feel free.
Hey, Scotty.
Okay, so
you can just see the horns.
Harvey Pecker's Ghost. This is all about horror. We've just talked about everything that freaks us out individually. We've touched on comics with Whack Comics, but we're going to go around and then talk about movies and whatever the hell else is going on. Good morning, as Paul, Cliff on Comics. Thank you very much. You're here. I don't need to show your comment. Mad Spidey, what horror comics have you read or you really love?
Before Mad Spidey gets in, I just want to finish my thing because you cut me off. I was going to say, I don't really like horror comics in general, though. I like horror movies and horror shows and stuff, but horror comics freak me out a lot more than horror TV shows and movies and stuff like that. I don't know why. I think with comics, like for me at least, I get sucked into that medium a lot more, spend a lot more time with it. So yeah, the horror comics is not something that I usually do. And that's all I wanted to say. Go on.
To reply to your comment, I've never seen the big deal about Jeff Lemire. I'm not giving you shit. I'm just my own personal opinion. There has been some things that I've really, really enjoyed, like Underwater. What is it? Underwater Weller? Underwater. What is it?
Welder.
That was great. I loved that. And his Moon Knight run, I really, really loved. But Gideon Falls was freaking brilliant, and I loved it. And I hope that's a TV show or a movie sometime soon. Has anybody seen The Substance? Does anybody know what that is?
Yeah, that's the new
one with Demi Moore?
Yeah, where she basically injects a whole lot of stuff into herself. Becomes younger, or she almost becomes like a second person, and then her body just starts getting screwed up. Boys at work were talking about it today. Yeah. They said it's a really wacky movie, but well worth having a look at.
Cliff, what did you say about it?
No, I said, isn't that the stuff I clean up when I'm done? But listen, props to Demi Moore. Props to Demi Moore for doing The Substance. You know.
Sweet Tooth horror.
Tooth.
Yeah,
No,
it was different.
I'd be more like
Fantasy, yeah.
dystopian.
It gets pretty
post-apocalyptic.
dark.
Dystopian, yeah.
It definitely gets pretty dark.
I've only seen the first
All right,
season.
I'm going to show you guys. Sorry?
So
You straight got a doctor chopping up, little children who are mutants, for the greater good. And
yeah, it's pretty dark.
yeah.
What's this, Spotty?
Werewolf by Night.
By Night?
That's the kind of
Which
not that
is
I'm a raider anymore, but obviously I'm actively trying to complete the Werewolf by Night and Tomb of Dracula runs at the present time. So that's very on the theme at the moment.
Will you read them when you get them?
Well,
Maybe. You know what I'm like, Lee. You can shut up.
I will never understand you, Spidey, how you collect comics and don't read them. That's like having a bunch of porn movies and never watching.
I'm sorry, Mr. Omnibus is wrapped in plastic.
That's because I'm gonna read them.
You got called out.
Bo, I don't know if you're going to read this because you are building a pile. You are building. It is terrifying. You want to talk about terrifying? All them books. Imagine, God forbid, there's an earthquake. That shit's killing somebody. It's killing somebody.
We're in Australia. We don't have natural events.
And Sharif, you in danger, boy. I see that.
Yeah, we do.
Max, I feel like you could answer this question because I don't know this name.
Graham Ingalls. I don't know him either. I think he's a comic persona. I know who Harvey Piker is. You've been pronouncing his name wrong. I like My Cancer Year and American Splendor. They're great comics. But I'm not sure who Graham Ingalls is. I'm sorry.
Okay, fair enough. Now, if I may go to Claudia, what horror movies freak you out? And I know it's normally everything, but what specifically?
Okay, one that is not true. It's changed a lot throughout the years, I think, but I think probably the paranormal type of movies, but just because I've started to believe a little bit due to a couple of events that's happened.
Oh, do tell.
You know what I'm talking about.
Of course I do, because I'm an attentive boyfriend.
When things have no explanation. I'm not going to say that on YouTube. And then there's the movies that I love that don't necessarily scare me. I just love, which is one of the first horror movies that I saw was Interview with the Vampire.
Ooh.
That's why I'm Claudia, apparently. Part of it.
Yeah, so your mother named you after a child vampire.
Well, that wasn't it had to be a name that worked in English and in Spanish, and Cliff would understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess it did.
What
was
not
drawn out of the
Because
hat
you
for
can
me.
speak Spanish.
Hang on, sorry, what was that, Cliff?
I said that was not drawn out of the hat for me. Instead, my mother was like, "Oh."
I'll just pull it off the rack.
Instead, it was just the whole
KGB.
Like you want to in my
KGB.
KJ.
KJ.
He's not Russian.
I was obviously dyslexic too.
Dyslexic, ADHD. If I were in Australia, he'd be at my clinic. So so no, nothing to do with Cheers. Cheers does come after my birth, let's be sure. So no, my uncle is Clifford, my other uncle is Alan, and that's how I got my first and middle name. And it was basically my mom is doing that thing where oh, you want to name your, the other Spanish tradition is naming your children after people you admire, right? So I lost that boat. And my mom married a Canadian, Claudia. So, ya tu sabe. So already it was off the rails. You know, however,
just say.
yeah. However, we did all right. You know, we live with my Puerto Rican grandmother. We learned the food. We learned the language. We learned the music. So you know, we were ready. Tito went down Saturday mornings. We were good. And like,
So Cliff, I wasn't paying attention, and I do apologize. What nationality are you? Because when I see American, I just think American. So that's my ignorance. What nationality?
My mother's from Puerto Rico. My father's from Canada.
Canada,
But I
Puerto
am
Rico.
American.
Okay, so you're not American then.
I mean, I'm American. I'm first generation American. Actually, second. My mother was born in Puerto Rico at a time where you're born a citizen in Puerto Rico. So yay. And by the way, that's still an active thing, and I still have to explain that to ignorant people at the DMV.
What, that Puerto Rico is part of America?
The pay shit. Well, yeah, it's the only colony that we still have. Thanks.
Yeah.
It's America. And I'm terrified of Puerto Rico becoming a state because I saw what history has shown me what that did to Hawaii, and it scares the shit out of me.
It looks like we lost Whack. Did we lose somebody else?
Right.
Nah, just leave
What was
it.
that, Max?
Yeah, his internet.
Just leave.
didn't look
Okay.
great. Yeah.
Okay.
KJB says he's too deep in the rainforest.
Oh, what a shame. What a shame.
It's incredible.
This is why I'm so appreciative of Max, Cliff, Whack, KJB, sorry, because we don't have enough of a following as Mad Spidey, for example. Even though we have more subs than Mad Spidey has a lot more friends than we do. And it's just true, man. And we can't do a live chat and just rely on whoever's going to join. So the ones that have tonight, thank you so much. It really means a lot to us. Except for you, Mark. I'm really angry at you for commenting and not joining. Okay, so moving on to the comics. Can I show you guys some horror comics that I have not read and tell me if you have?
Okay, let's do it.
What did I say before? That I have not read.
I can't put you out of the show because you're next to me. Okay,
Right.
so okay. Before we do, let's answer this question. Do you find Amel from the Sniffers to be? I don't know what that means.
Neither do I.
Isn't Amel some sort
Simple
of
Simon
bloody,
has just uploaded a video.
like a gas or something?
Well, this is not. And that is
Amel nitrate or something, is it?
I don't know. Yeah, I am, Mark, because
No,
I've
don't
been
click
dying for like a year for you to be on the show, and you're still not. And like, you know, you have a hurricane and all this sorts of stuff, and you finally get internet, and you still can't go on the show. I don't know what the hurricane has to do with it, but there we go. It's 6 a.m. Good on you for being awake and joining Aussieverse. The band, okay.
Oh,
Is that
Amel's a
got to do
band.
with-
Oh, the Sniffers is a band.
Yeah, and Micronesia and the
I'm
American
surprised you don't know that.
Yeah, so
I'm sorry. So Guam is a territory of the United States. Puerto Rico is a commonwealth of the United States. So that is the only commonwealth, I believe. But yes, we have all these other, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So all of them all have a different
so
history,
many. Yeah.
You know.
Aussie band? Come on, Steve.
Amel and the Sniffers. Nah.
Come on.
I haven't actually heard of them, to be honest.
I'm going to have to Google that. While, Amel and the Sniffers.
Yeah,
There we go.
no Australians here. No fucking Australians here, Kent.
Amel and the Sniffers.
A fucking cat.
Amel and the Sniffers. He's
Split
right.
There you go.
But are they Australian or is he just taking the piss? Like maybe they're New Zealand.
Careful with the
No,
music.
they're based in your neck of the woods.
hang on.
Looks like Melbourne.
Oh, they're from Melbourne.
It did say under the name Australian something band or whatever.
Yeah, pub
But yeah, I've never
band
heard them.
from Melbourne. Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, Farrah Fawcett hairdo. You don't see that a lot anymore.
Is this a music video or some kind of like
I think this is your special
Other
channel
kind of
that you
video.
normally like to watch when no one's around.
what my Omni fans that is only $2.99 a month?
Omni fans, God.
I like it.
Okay.
Oh, that's creepy.
That's enough.
Let's turn that off.
Okay, Claudia, show the first book, will you please? My darling love and my heart, my best friend, my everything in my life.
Suck.
You're crying.
James, is it James Tinian? Yeah, did I just make that up? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
Okay. James Tiny Onions, Dracula. Has anybody read this in the chat or not? I know that if Alan was watching this right now, which he's not, he would say how much he loved it. But yeah, Dracula, it apparently focuses more on the familiar of Dracula, not Dracula himself.
Oh,
I've been told
Renfield?
it's really good. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Moving on. Next one.
if I could just pause there for a second. I haven't read that Dracula, but I did just binge the first volume of Something Is Killing the Children by the same author, James Tynion, which is also horror, and which was not so much a visceral experience, but it was a very engrossing read, especially with the world building, but very exploitative with the blood and the gore, depending on how you feel. So yeah, I'm a fan of James Tynion. Yeah.
So it's worth reading. It's not like a one read and you will never read it again.
Oh well, like by default, when I own something, I'm indebted to almost read it again, and I have it in physical form. So yeah, there is some rereadability values to it because you'll pick up new things.
Okay.
But yeah, your relationship with reading something for the first time, you can't beat that. When you watch a show for the first time, when you listen to a piece of music for the first time, yeah, you never forget your first time.
Well played, sir. Well
The reason why I ask is because I'm running out of room in my comic room. It sort of bugs me with the books that I haven't read, that if I read them and I'm never going to read them again, to get them out of here to make more space. And
Yes.
I worry that I have too many of those books in my room. So if you tell
Get a
me
bigger house.
it's hey,
Get a bigger house.
yeah, okay.
No.
Yeah, in
Next.
this market.
We already have an extra room because of him. Like, no.
This
There's
one-
a house for rent 5 houses down from my place. Come live near me.
Are you in Melbourne as well?
Yeah, I'm in Melbourne, yeah. Yep.
Oh, well. There you
Sorry,
go.
Steve, what was that comment?
There's a house about 5 houses down from us that's up for rent at the moment.
Just do what.
Does
like those
anybody
oil
want to
barons
live?
do. Yeah.
Does
Rent another house
anybody
just
want to
for-
live near this?
Yeah, this.
What suburb is it first?
You know what? I feel like
Bayswater.
Is it
Water.
Western?
Eastern suburbs,
You're in
mate.
Baysy.
I'm in Baysy.
I didn't realize you were that close.
Always watching. Where are you?
And now
Because-
Spidey's going to
because,
come over and borrow all of your DVDs.
I think I
Where
have
are you,
enough of
Spike?
my own.
I love
things,
it how
mate.
everybody talks at once and then everybody shuts up.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But the thing about SIKTC, Something Is Killing the Children, is that
Square footage.
they ruin a taboo about actually killing children. You actually see it viscerally on the page, children being ripped apart, and that's a big no-no in all other mediums, even video games. I mean, not that I would try, but I know people on the internet try to kill the kids in Skyrim. Of course, you can't. I mean, that's psycho. Who would want to do that? But on Something Is Killing the Children, it's right there, like children levitating and being ripped apart in the air and blood and entrails. It's you got to get through that gag reflex first.
Speaking of games, Max, and killing children in games, this is going to sound really bad, but apparently in the latest Red Dead Redemption, there's a kid on top of a cliff and you can walk up there and just boom shoot him off and it changes everything in the game.
Oh man.
Oh, right, because
I know.
it makes you a full-on villain, right? Like you're just villain.
Do we know the answer to this question?
Yeah.
He's probably talking about the house that I was talking about.
Steve will know that. He's talking about the house at the
No,
Red-
the square footage.
No,
I don't know what a
Bayswater
square
would be a
footage is.
cheaper
I
cheaper
think
suburb.
I think he meant square
Saying we're
foot.
cheap.
That's why.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. We have Dark Room, which is the hunt for a camera containing an undeveloped photo of the face of true evil threatens to wipe out New York City one chilly autumn evening. Anybody read this? Anybody heard of this?
No.
By
No.
yeah, who's the writer?
Okay. It says Duggan, so I'm guessing it's Jerry, but hang on. Yes, it is. Jerry Duggan.
Not dumb.
No,
Duggan.
okay.
Yeah, heard of it. I think the second book is coming out, so I might grab it together at the same time.
God damn you, Sharif. I don't want to know there's a second book. I don't want to buy more.
It's coming out.
And a third one coming out soon. No, just-
I played a Star Wars game back in the day where you play as Anakin taking out the younglings during Order 60. Wow. Okay.
That's
Ooh,
full.
wow. What game was that? Okay. Oh no, Mark. To be fair, the kids in Skyrim can be annoying.
Yes, they are.
You know. Next, we have Scott Snyder, AG After Death. Sharif, did I buy this off you?
Yeah.
I did, yeah. So, did you ever read this one?
Yep.
And I'm guessing you hated it, which is why you sold it to me.
It's it's pretty forgettable. If I'm not mistaken, it's about this guy who I think it's reincarnated, and then he forgets about his previous life and trying to trace back the life that he lived. If I'm not mistaken, it's got a fair bit of prose in there. So I'm not a big fan of it. So no.
Okay, so what Sharif meant to say was, years after the discovery of a genetic cure for mortality, one man starts to question everything, leading him on a mind-bending journey that will bring him face to face with his past and his own personal legacy.
I was drinking water and there was like the worst shot that you could have done 5 seconds ago.
Okay, sorry. Moving on. We've only got 4 more. All My Little Demons.
What
by,
is that?
is this Snyder? No, Cullen Bunn.
One.
Anybody
Wow.
heard of this
Sounds
one?
cool. No, it looks
Oh.
cool, though.
It is a thickie. It is a thick one.
No.
Okay. I thought that was your cue, Cliff. I'm very sorry to put you in the corner there. Cullen Bunn is unquestionably. Hey?
Nobody
said
puts Cliff in the
why.
corner.
Oh, bitch, you could put me in the corner, but let me tell you, it's because I want it that way.
Cullen Bunn is unquestionably Aftershock's most prolific storyteller, having penned best-selling tales of horror, terror, and suspense from our earliest days straight through to today and beyond. Now the best, most requested Aftershock works of Cullen Bunn have been collected and presented in this deluxe hardcover volume, including a bunch of short stories. No one. Okay,
No.
moving on.
Not a fan of anthologies. Yeah.
I'm interested in picking that up.
I know, one, you're interested in picking up Sharif because we've spoken about it many times and I've shown you many cheap options and you still don't frickin' buy it. And that
I have.
is Monsters by Barry Windsor Smith. Are you calling me a liar?
No, I have. I can pull it up right
Yes.
now. It's
Yes,
going to be
it
my
is.
next haul.
This is pretty popular. A lot of people have spoken about this, which is why I bought it. Has anybody know anything about this book?
It took him
tell.
25 years to do that book. Oh,
Good
really?
really?
Why?
Why, Spidey?
Yeah, it's his life's work, or not life's work, but it's all written, drawn, and everything by Barry Windsor Smith. He took 25 years to do it. I haven't actually. I've obviously looked through it, but I haven't actually read it. But the art in it is just. Well, it's Barry Windsor Smith. Like, what can you say? Like, the guy is an absolute legend. It's definitely worth picking up if you can get it. Because I think I don't know what the print run was like, but I don't think it was a big print run. So,
Okay.
definitely,
For the price that I
definitely pick
got
up
it
if you
at,
can.
I would assume it is.
It's
So
like
I think
a
it's the-
$100 book, I think. Or in Australia, it's $100.
No way. I got this for like, I don't even know, but for like 30, 40, I think. Sharif,
Right.
how much did you pay for yours?
about 40.
I'm you, bro. No,
Yeah.
this is my son.
I don't know because I got mine for
Right.
free.
Say hello to the nice people, Ray.
Hello to the nice people.
Not me.
Not you, no.
I don't know
Hello?
about nice, but yeah.
All right, you can
When are
go
you
now.
going to take
Already.
over your father's role on Aussieverse?
Hello.
He
He doesn't
disappeared.
have the talent. Shut up.
Hello, little fella. If it felt like Chopper
okay,
Reed, then it's
two
like,
more.
hello, little fella.
Fucking hello. Fucking hello.
Oh, hello. Sorry, only the Aussies will
Is
really
Legion
get
talking to no, I'm sure Americans have seen Chopper. Cliff, have you seen Chopper?
Oh boy.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Is Chop? What? Is it like the? Is it a robot? Is it? What is it? What am I talking?
Yeah, he's a killing machine. Yeah, he's a robot in
Right.
one sense.
So basically, Mark Chopper Reed is a gangster
Wild.
here in Melbourne.
Tate.
I have my own Claudia.
Hang on. Almost there.
Sorry, Steve.
Almost there.
Go for it.
So Mark Chopper
There we
Reed
go.
is a gangster that was here in Melbourne, and he actually cut off one of his own ears, and he used to stab
Both
people
of
in
them.
jail. There you go, Chopper.
Yeah.
So movie Eric Banner stars in it, and then there was a comedian that on a TV show called The Ronnie John's Half Hour, and he used to do a piss take of him, and it was really, really good.
Oh,
Good
I,
movie.
horrible back up.
I've met Chopper in
gonna
real
be
life.
honest
Have
here.
you really?
Yeah. I used to be a red carpet cameraman. That was my first job out of uni, and he was one of the first people I met. And we only talked for like 10 minutes, but he just spent the whole time shitting on camera. He hated camera. Nothing to do there. You go in, you go out. Yeah.
That would
Claudia,
have been interesting.
George has
mate.
done himself a mischief.
The first.
I'm not going to
thing-
say it because I just realized that.
Yeah, there's no
No.
cash.
No.
There's no cash.
Okay.
yet.
So I was at a
Bravo,
work Christmas
no
party
cash.
once in the city. I was at a work Christmas party many years ago now. It would have been like 15 years ago at least. And I went to the bathroom, took a pee, looked next to me, and there's Chopper. And I freaked the fuck out. And I didn't know what to say to him because it's probably the worst moment ever in your life to be next to Chopper Reed. So I just went,
Nice dick.
I didn't say
Hello,
anything,
little
and
fella.
I'm pretty sure. Hello. I'm pretty sure he was smart enough to realize what I was thinking and what just happened. Tate has seen Chopper. It's pretty great. Yes, it is, mate. It really is
Incredible
a great film.
yes.
Chopper is the
Masked
name
Riders.
of the Masked Riders. What's the Masked
Masked
Riders?
It's a
Eric Banner
Yeah,
was
Eric
chunky.
Banner
Correct.
actually had to put on for the Americans. He had to put on about 50 pounds to actually do the
Yeah.
role.
Good Lord. Oh my God. I don't believe
but what's
that. I believe in doing that to beautiful men. And
what you believe in doing that to ugly men?
right. So like when we take like a husky dude, like Chris from Parks and Rec Star Lord. When we take
Right.
a husky
Chris
dude,
Pratt.
when we take Chris Pratt and we turn him into Star Lord, I celebrate that. You know, we're doing the Lord's work, right? But when we take a beautiful young creature like a year 2000 Eric Bana and just throw 50 pounds on there, you know, like it's nothing, you know, just making them eat at 3 a.m. and then shoving them back to sleep like it's all good, so he can just pour the fat on. You know, like I don't love. I mean, he still had a cute face. Like he was still in a range that would be acceptable for me, but it's not his best look. It's not. Hulk Eric Bana is a very good look. I would smash that in a million. And
nice pun.
And yes, this is a lot of
I don't think
body.
you meant that.
There's a lot of body shaming going on here, and I am a body shamer. I'm very bad. Like at work, I'll walk around and I'll make a comment about, but you know, my fat ass. And they're like, stop it, Clifford. You're beautiful. I'm like, yeah, I'm beautiful for a chub. Like, I mean, come on. Like, you know, and I'm like, and
So let me ask you.
Let me ask.
Let me ask you, Cliff. Were you ever aware of Eric Bana's comedic work before Chopper and Hulk?
Absolutely not. And certainly Hulk, there's nothing funny about Hulk except how he came out. But I love the cinematography of that Hulk movie. I thought that was Ang Lee is brilliant. I just feel like everything else they did not. It just was not a good fit. It was just not a good fit for. But I love like the comic book panel action. I thought was like amazing. See Tape Prime.
It's actually been many. It's actually been many years since I've seen it, so I should really rewatch it to give a different opinion of it than when it first came out. Mark, I know you're a massive Hulk fan. What did you think of Eric Bana's Hulk movie?
Underrated.
Sorry, whoever was talking.
Mark?
Okay, so Mad Spidey, Sharif, and no, hang on, sorry, wrong camera, and Steve will be able to, and Max, sorry, all the Australians except you, Cliff, will be able to educate you on Eric Bana's career before he made it to Hollywood. And I don't know about the rest of the Aussies here. I never in a million years would have thought he made it to Hollywood.
Well,
does anybody else agree or disagree?
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't think I've seen Eric Bana's work pre-Hulk, but going off on what Cliff mentioned earlier about how the supposed comic panels were coming out throughout the movie, has there been any other works, well, not necessarily from Ang Lee or Eric Bana, that that may or may not be a comic book movie, but has panels coming out?
Yeah, multi panels. No, Woody Allen's been doing that for ages, and he even did that in a film afterwards called Scoop. I know,
but it's different. Yes. That's movie paneling. Like this, we're doing paneling. The only thing that makes it different is the direction. Like he'll do things in movies where you have people in a juxtaposition, like two people asking a friend for a favor, right? Thinking that their goals are aligned, only to be asking for favors that are going to turn out to be opposite ends of the spectrum later on in the movie. Ha ha ha.
Dramatic irony, yeah.
Right, for the dramatic irony. He does stuff like that. I appreciate that. But that's not the comic. It's not panel action.
Purely aesthetic, yeah.
The aesthetic that Ang Lee brought, he brought this comic book panel pop. That's unique, and it's unique to that Hulk film. I don't think we've seen that anywhere else. Watch The Castle, Cliff. What the hell's The Castle?
It's a classic Australian movie.
I don't think Americans will respond to that.
They might not get it, but it's great. It's a classic.
The Ice Storm.
I can't remember who it was.
The thing about Ang Lee's career is that it's the most eclectic career collection of films, the filmography that you'll ever see. He's done a Civil War film called Ride with the Devil. He's done a Jane Austen novel, which is Sense and Sensibility. Yeah, he did The Ice Storm, which is a suburban drama, war film, which was Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. Brokeback Mountain's probably his best film. Yeah, so he's done a lot of great stuff. And
Ang Lee did Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, he won the Oscar for it.
Well,
I
even
Yeah.
did not know that. Life of Pi as well. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Life of Pi. Yes, that's
What's something he's done recently? What's something he's
Gemini
done
Man.
recently, Max?
The Gemini
Gemini
Man was
Man.
his last film. He's trying to do something where films are usually 24 frames a second. He's trying to do something where his frame rate is like 96 frames a second, so that it's almost too sharp. And I know people are rebelling against that. I think I'm in the minority when I say he did it for a big flop. His follow-up to Life of Pi called Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk, which is about the Iraq War. I thought it was amazing. But yeah, unfortunately, people aren't responding to the 96 frame rate.
What does that mean?
Well, because
Pardon
our
my
eyes-
ignorance.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, like 96 frames, like that's what you like. Yeah, that's what we're used to seeing. 1 second is 96 still frames. Imagine, I mean, sorry, one
I don't know.
is 24 still frames. Imagine if that was more.
By
You'd
the way,
see one more
sorry.
detail. Yeah.
Billy Lynn is 100.
Pardon my ignorance.
Oh wow. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, incredible. Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, I don't know what that means. If you can educate me.
Yeah, like sorry. Yeah, I was in the middle of that. 1 second is 24 frames. Usually 24 frames. In America, it's 23.96 frames. I don't know, but that's how it is. And that's what we're used to seeing. That's what you see when you're watching films. But imagine if that 1 second was 48 frames or 96 frames or 125 frames. You'd see a sharpness in the movement. Like look at this. You could see motion blur. Imagine if there was no motion blur, where you could see everything in like really granular.
The opposite of Snyder.
Snyder. Oh yeah. Well, the thing what Snyder does is that he shoots it in like 125 frames or maybe 240 frames, and then he slows it down so that it's more it's more accustomed to our eyes. But yeah, it's something that you don't really notice on paper, but when you actually see it, I mean, I'm not doing a great job explaining it. Just watch it. The Hobbit films were shot in 48 frames, and people said that it looked fake. They could see the props. They could see the green screen spill. Yeah, it took them out of it. So I don't know if it really 48 frames worked for The Hobbit. But as far as I'm concerned, 120.
So does that mean it's sharper and more clear? Is that
so much sharper?
The more frames mean?
It has a lot more. It has a lot more information in any particular time. I mean,
okay.
It's one of the because I do drone footage, drone videography, and it's one of the first few things that I picked up. Frame rates 24, 25. I've shot on 24 and 60, and it's a lot of different. You can really see it.
Yeah. Fun fact: stop motion is 12 frames, which is why we kind of see a mechanical aspect to the stop motion, and I'm okay with that. A majority of stop motion is 12 frames a second.
Mark makes a very
okay
here for this. Okay, I'm going to use The Hobbit as an example. Let's take lots of things into consideration. It not only was a higher frame per second, he was also shooting in 8K cameras for a 4D feature. Yeah. And on top of that, he was also using a higher refresh rate system. So yeah, it was too much. I remember when I saw the first IMAX showing of the first one, and I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. It's like watching Claudius. What's happening? And I still can see the difference. I'll go to a friend's house and they're like playing a movie. I'm like, oh my God, why do you have your TV like this? Oh, I can't tell the difference. What are you talking about? And I was like, how dare you? Like,
yeah, we're snobs.
See, this is just what makes me feel like I'm stupid, because I don't pay attention to things that much. Art and comics, all this conversation. I never notice any of that. I just get sucked into a movie, whether I like it or not. I don't pay attention to the cinematography.
So, Bo, are you a visual learner, or it sounds like you're not a visual learner?
I would say I am, to be honest. Yeah, I would
right,
think
so
I am.
Well, I'm gonna say, like, do you absorb more information when you're reading, or more information by watching a video?
Oh,
When you absorb,
video.
And when you absorb information by watching a video, is it what your eyes are seeing, or is it what you're hearing?
Yeah, your auditory or
These are
visual.
very deep.
Right. So so this is what I learned from my years teaching. My students would be audio learners, visual learners, kinesthetic learners. I actually believe that this breakdown of audio, visual, kinesthetic is why Mark and I have some deep agreements on particular comments and wild disagreements on others. You know, like very deep is Cliff's specialty. Only if you give me enough alcohol first, baby. So, like, by the way, Steve looks like he could be a freak, and like I might be down for that. So anyhow, like I feel like I could take Steve to a swingers party. So
I just hope there's swings.
When he decides to be wrong, like this is the thing, like the biggest one, my biggest gripe, my biggest chip on my shoulder of the past 2 years has been Dark Crisis, and Mark still like tries to find ways to defend it. And the thing is, it's visually stunning, right? But I find the rest of it absolutely hollow. Right. And that's because as much as I enjoy visual, I need the reading stimulus, and it is absolutely vacant in that story. And so it does make me wonder if
I don't get that at all.
Of what?
I just don't like. I realize that it's me and it's my problem and my perception. So I'm not saying that what I'm saying is right, but like so many comic book people talk about the art and things that I never pay attention to. I'm just reading and flipping the pages, right? If I see art that I don't like, I will know that I don't like it. But that's as deep as it goes. People like yourself and Max and Spidey and Sharif, all of you guys, you turn around and you go very specifically what it is that you do or do not like. And I just never get that. I just don't, you know. And there are so many things where until I went to digital comics, it would go over my head and I would miss. But because of digital, it goes frame by frame, and I don't have a chance to really miss anything now. Before that, I would just read, and it felt like I was skipping things, but not intentionally.
Yeah, well, I think that's
And I've
what,
killed the
in a sense,
conversation.
makes it the best.
So again,
audience,
that moment in the book is visually stunning because Daniel Semper is una maravilla of an artist, right? But it's hollow. There's no buildup. I just reread the reprint of The Death of Supergirl, and I cried again. I cried. There is buildup in here. Okay, like these. See this dialogue, motherfuckers. Look how many how many panels are here? How many panels are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 panels that George Perez jammed in here, just kicking off the issue. All right, these fuckers know. Look at this. All right, so let's and look, already Supergirl's on the scene. All right, so we're getting warmed up for it. Let's get several pages. They go to attack the Anti-Monitor because, of course, he's going to destroy our reality and replace it with the Antimatter universe. Blah 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 blah. We get the origin of what happened here. Alexander Luthor makes the gateway for them to go through. You know, and of course, you got like the most powerful heroes you got. You know, they get to the Antimatter universe. Bam! They're at his headquarters. Look at
incredible!
that.
Wow.
You know?
I am
Gorgeous.
going to interrupt you now, Cliff, for a very special announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, I have known this guy for a couple of years now, I'm guessing. I come on his show every goddamn Friday night, lately anyway, and I have wanted him on here. I didn't think he liked Aussieverse. That is not true. It was just a matter of different personalities. Ladies and gentlemen, we are welcoming Mark from Legion of Comics. Oh my God, he is here. Whoa! Okay, that is the wrong camera. That is not Legion of Comics. This
That
one
didn't
is.
look like me.
There he is.
There we go.
Oh. So there was definitely
Hey,
build up.
Legion of Comics, please tell everybody who the hell you are.
I will, but me and Cliff got to settle this. There's definitely build up to that moment, Cliff. There is most definitely. As a matter of fact, the entire Justice League was taken out. So we went months without them. And I do want to point out the dynamic between John and Cal was built up beautifully, which brought tears to your eyes numerous times when PKJ took over Action and Superman. So there was oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you because I was talking. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, you were talking trash and I couldn't hear you properly, so I decided.
So if you read comics, you would see the buildup in there, but I do.
Mark,
I do see
that's
your
the
wrong
thing.
point.
I didn't need to read 20 issues of Supergirl. Are you pulling some view shit? I was like, first of all, if you're gonna pull this shit, you put me on the left side because that's where the gay people go when they have this fight online. There you go.
Is that a thing? But anyway, but yeah, if you don't even get into like the complex build up and the nuance of the actual continuity of DC that was starting to be rebuilt really big since the Infinite Frontier and Rebirth loose continuity stuff, we can leave that to the side for you since you're not a complex reader, you say. But if you just look at I'm going to get into fit-in, I'm just going to jump in for this event, you would find that there was the death of the Justice League that put the entire second wave of characters, that were led by Nightwing in the forefront. So you had that entire dynamic with the event. That's what it was about.
Yeah, how did that go for them? How did that go for them?
Now, if you look at going right back,
everybody on how bad they were, and how awful they were, how unsuccessful they were.
Now, if you look at that's the dynamic of it is the second generation of characters being forced into the forefront. Now, just look at the event. Look at the reading checklist. There is a dedicated book, an entire dedicated book called Whatever Happened to the Justice League, where it spotlighted each of the characters that were dead/missing. And there's an entire book that will bring anybody with a heart or a soul to tears with the Superman.
Where he gets to watch his son grow up. Yes. And that was lovely.
Fuck.
That's lovely on its own.
But that's your missing context that you're ignoring.
I am not ignoring. It's somewhat emotional for him to arrive. But it's a tie-in bookmark, and also this is not like back in the day. I didn't need other stuff to feel emotional about Supergirl dying. I didn't need all that shit, and they knew how to do it back then. And now it's lost. And then, like, God forbid that I ask for people jump down my throat. But there should be some. It was a trashy sell. It was a trashy read. It's very hollow. If you were only following the main story, which many people probably could only afford to follow, get fighting off the goddamn screen. Nowhere. The main event is I gotta form a new Justice League. Yeah, well,
what else have I got?
Nightwing, let's lead. Oh, you're full of shit too. Oh, you're both pathetic.
Yeah, the emotional ties that you have to that death of Supergirl aren't independently on that comic book. It's a great book. It's a phenomenal book. There's no taking that away, but all of your fandom that goes into that is applied to when you read that story as well, though, Cliff.
No,
it's not like if you handed that book to a stranger who never read it before and just like check this out, they'd be like, oh, that's pretty good. But it wouldn't have the weight for them.
All right, everybody stop talking because right now, Mark from Legion of Comics is old news. We have some new news. What is that, Creative Claudia?
No, it counted. I was going to say that
What's up,
the
Tate?
scariest of them all because he was all dark, but he's not anymore. So, yeah, you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tate, who has been a supporter of Aussieverse since day one. Motherfuckers, gay, say g'day to Tate Prime.
Can you be more Aussie? Come and say g'day.
G'day, cat.
G'day, fucker. What the fuck?
Say g'day.
Oh, you
Mark
bastard.
and hang on. What's that?
That's going to be expensive.
Oh,
That's already out. Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, it's out.
I don't know. I don't think it's coming out here.
You can get one off Rob Life.
Yeah, Will, man.
No, I was lucky enough to
you've got
pre-order
your
it.
American hookups. You've got your American hookups. I'm sure you can get it, mate.
Yeah, I'll get one. I've got a multi-region Blu-ray, so
No, I got a multi-region Blu-ray. Look at me, I'm fucking cool. All right, Mark. Mark, can you please answer the question that the rest of us did? Out of any horror genre, is there anything that legitimately freaks you out?
Just the Conjuring universe. That's it. For some reason,
That's it.
and it's not even a genre
Fair
thing.
enough.
It's just a delivery kind of thing. And it's not even the first Conjuring, like like the stupid clapping out the dark. It's like it's not a jump scare. It's not anything like that. It's just a tone. It's just the mood of it all. And I absolutely love what James Wan did with that universe, and not even just that. What's the fucking one with Patrick Wilson that they made a bunch of them now?
That's the
Insidious?
Conjuring.
I know James.
No,
No, the one where he dies.
Not Insidious. It's the other
Yeah,
one.
that's it. That's it. Insidious.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So Patrick Wilson's in Insidious also as the dad, isn't he?
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
you're right.
I know, Cliff, you forget about a lot of context. But I'm just kidding, dude. Chill.
You'll make me come to Georgia and finish God's work there.
That's my goal, is to get you angry enough to come down here. But no, the Insidious, like, so when I was a store manager at Movie Stop, they want you, when new movies would come in weeks ahead of release, they want you to open one up for an employee copy, and the staff, you can rent them like Blockbuster without paying, because they wanted us to be knowledgeable to be able to promote movies and sell movies to customers that asked. So it's like midnight, I go home and get like dialed down from work, and I throw Insidious in. So by now it's like 1 a.m. I'm in my house all by myself. This was back before I was married or had kids and stuff. Well, I had Emma, but I was by myself, dark, and I turn Insidious on. And this is the first time. This is the first one, and I don't know if y'all remember how it opens, but it's like the traditional horror style where music is actually an element of fright. It's not just in the jump scare scenes, but the title page just slams on screen, says Insidious, and it just hits you with this railing scream of a sound effect. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I watched this movie by myself, and it legitimately fucking scared me, man, because like the different ghosts or elements in the fear of the movie have different nicknames, and there's one called the Traveler, and the little kid is in his room and he hears footsteps and wakes up and sees a person pacing outside his door, and he paces past the window, then he paces and he's in the fucking room, and then he just turns and just comes straight at him, and it's that music again in that moment. I'm like, yo, fuck, dude, this is creepy as hell. But it's just stuck with me. That feeling is stuck with me through the sequels and stuff, and I enjoy those a lot because of that.
Claudia went to bed once some night, and I went to watch one of the Insidious movies. And being in a relationship, you always have to watch that line of volume of what's going to wake up your partner, but give you the amount of enjoyment as loud as it can be. And I thought I got it at the right level, and then all of a sudden, Insidious with the music, and I'm like, fuck, she's gonna wake up to that, and it was hard.
You scream like a little bitch.
I don't remember.
Was that funny?
I said you scream like a little bitch, and that's what woke her up.
Don't make me tell everybody your relationship with my cats after one visit, okay? Tate, it's your turn, sir. Thank you very much for joining Aussieverse. What is the one or two genres that freak you the fuck out?
I have two movies that I could say that I'm not sure, like Jaws and Poltergeist.
Yeah, that old creepy
Spielberg.
guy in the door.
Oh, Poltergeist is a classic.
Yeah, it was very good.
Classic.
But yeah, to this day, like I watched Poltergeist when I was way too young, and this, like the scene of the guy tearing his face off in the mirror and like stuff like that just freaked me out. To this day, I won't watch it.
They're here.
Yeah.
Do you know the skeletons
did you know
were
that-
actual real skeletons they used in that film?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they didn't tell the cast. It was, I think they got sued for it. Yeah.
I mean,
That
I
little
can
girl
understand.
also died.
I can understand Poltergeist, but Jaws, it's so mechanical.
I mean, you can say that now, but watch that shit back in the day. It wasn't.
No, I think it's still scary now.
Watch that as a kid
hardly
when,
see the
like, after
shark.
it comes out.
Yeah.
Different
Yeah,
story.
they do a good job of hiding Bruce with the water and the stuff, and there's some cool scenes. And they also don't make the mistake of using like stock footage of sharks. Like, no, when you see the shark, it's Bruce, and that is fucking it.
Yeah, he's on the. I think he's on the screen for less than 10 minutes in the movie.
Yeah, it's something short like that. Yeah, definitely.
Because you know the
Yeah,
later ones and other like comparable movies, they always use stock footage in the ocean of animals, and then it's their prop. But Spielberg was smart enough not to do that.
No, I think that was Anvi Coates' call, the editor. They had a in the editing room. They sort of clashed, and Spielberg, I think he was only like 32 at the time, like some ridiculously young age, and Anvi Coates edited Lawrence of Arabia, so she could pull seniority. Yeah,
sure can.
I just think Jaws is a perfect movie from the shark to the feeling of the town to the when you're watching the boats go along, it's circus music. And it just has this creepiness of like the ocean scares me. Like, and I grew up in an ocean town, but it scares the hell out of me.
I remember watching Jaws as a kid, and remember that scene where the young kid is on the yellow inflatable thing and gets chewed up. I actually had a yellow inflatable thing. I never used it again after saying that.
Now you know why your parents bought it for you.
What? Oh, shit.
Would you all agree that there are some? Would you all agree that there are some things that scared you so much as a young child that as an adult, your common sense shouldn't scare you now, but because you got so scared as a child, it still freaks you the fuck out now?
Still scares me.
Yeah, Chucky, I think anybody here can take on a reanimated doll with a knife. Yeah.
And clowns.
Carlito, thank you for joining.
Carlito.
The reason why I asked that question is because I saw The Fly when I was a kid, and I wasn't allowed to watch horror movies. And my mother turned around and said, "You are not old enough to watch this movie." And I said, "Yes, I am. Don't fucking tell me what to do," without the fucking, because I had respect for my mother. And I stayed up and I watched The Fly, and I was so scared to go to bed. I had to go up to her and be like, "Take me to bed." And to this day, The Fly freaks me the fuck out.
Like flying cockroaches.
That's
Flying cockroaches.
I feel like I shouldn't have shared that live on TV.
If you can't watch that, then you can't watch The Thing. That's worse.
Yeah. No, The Thing was fine.
I'm sorry. The original The Thing. So you're saying that you can't watch The Fly, but you can watch The Thing?
That's because I saw The Fly when I was a kid.
Okay.
And it was freaky.
Okay.
Mate, you're in the wrong country if you're scared of flies.
Yeah. And The Fly was David Cronenberg, the master of body horror. So I could definitely see that. Oh yeah, somebody said something I can't
remember. Elm Street, that was a good one.
Can you pass me this stuff under here because I want to talk about this
before
now.
We had that segue going into Crisis. We were talking about frame rates and all that. What are your guys' thoughts about remastering classics that were 4:3 and then suddenly it becomes widescreen with 4K, 8K? Does it take away from the original?
Is that like recolored comics?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean,
No,
or like recolored black and white films. I mean, they need to touch up in the upgrade.
Yeah, well, they don't really colorize black and white films, anymore. For me, it's just down to the director's intentions. If they shot it 4:3, I'll watch it 4:3. If they shot it a letterbox, I'll watch it letterbox. It's it's a time-based medium as well as a visual medium. And I totally respect the director's intentions.
Doesn't a letterbox piss you off? I don't care what the director wants. I don't want to watch a movie in letterbox.
You don't know what he's talking about.
I do. I actually do for once. Yes. It's that fucking that square thing right there. No.
Bo,
films, yeah.
Our televisions evolved so that you could enjoy.
Yes,
them.
exactly. Look at your TV now. It's now rectangle.
In HD and higher is letterbox.
I actually watched a movie last night in Letterbox. I don't care.
Yeah, you don't notice it.
So what pisses me off about,
Last night I actually
so what
watched a
pisses
movie
me off
that.
about going?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go Tate.
I was just saying I watched a movie last night that deals with aspect ratio. It's Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah, right.
Most of
Yeah,
the movie is in, most of it's in 4:3, and then the behind the scenes camera is a little bigger, and then they had one other camera that was the full screen, and I was just really the way they played with it was excellent.
That film is also history because it's the first theatrically released film to use AI. Now, did you notice the AI in it?
No, not until afterwards, because my friend that I watched it with mentioned it, and then so I watched a video about it, and basically I think it's just the pictures that they were using as a but I'm not sure. I didn't notice.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. Where's the AI in that movie? Because Claudia and I watched that recently.
Tate just said it's in the pictures, the stills.
Remember that, the picture, okay. We'll be right back, and it had like a dancing skeleton, with a pumpkin. That was AI. I don't know why they did it, but
because they didn't want to pay the guy.
Yeah, or they just wanted to be the first. You could. They can claim that for a film. We're the first theatrical film to use AI.
Doesn't seem like something worth bragging about, though. Kind of the opposite effect.
Yeah, I guess.
And that's why I hate going to these websites and you watch a movie that you shouldn't be allowed to watch right now. And sometimes they're like all different qualities and all that sort of stuff. And they'll be like this, and you're watching it, you're like, is this meant to be this way? Or have I just got like this kind of copy? Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
Dude walk in front of the camera.
Yeah. Bootlegging films is its own art in a way.
All right. Mark brought up music in horror movies with Insidious. Is there any music in movies that stand the test of time with you guys right now? Because I can tell you some, but the floor is yours. Go for it.
John Williams, Danny Elfman.
For horror?
No, it's a specific movie.
John Carpenter.
What do you mean, the soundtrack?
Yeah, John Carpenter.
Okay, movies.
I love the original Batman soundtrack.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking more like Psycho, for example. Jaws.
Yeah.
Who did Jaws?
Was that John Williams?
That's John Williams.
Yes, sir.
Or The Exorcist. The tune for The Exorcist.
I have not printed out stuff.
All right. Yeah. Do you know who scored The Exorcist? Was that Vangelis?
No, I don't know, mate, to be honest.
Yeah, it sounds like Vangelis, yeah.
Jaws was John Williams, and I know that from my own brain. I'm not reading it. I prepared earlier.
Well, it's easy to remember because he also did Superman.
He also did everything.
Yeah, I'm about to say he did a lot of Spielberg stuff. Didn't you do Indiana Jones?
Yep, he did Indiana Jones as well.
He's like the most successful composer I can think of.
Star Wars. Yep.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't say
that.
Not enough on me.
He copies himself.
Yeah.
On this printout that I've got, the Thing is number 3, but I'm not going to lie, I don't remember the Thing's music.
I don't. Yeah.
Does anybody else?
Yeah. No, it's very very 80s. Very.
I think John Carpenter did it himself, didn't he?
Yeah.
I'll just throw it out there. John
The
Carpenter's
next two.
Vampires is a really underrated movie.
Yeah, the opening scene with the hand cuts the guy in half.
So is Ghosts of Mars. So
I don't think that
Ghosts
one's
of
underrated.
Mars,
Dave.
yes.
It can be fun, but I don't think it's underrated.
well, but it's John. Not only, but it's John Carpenter with Megadeth making the soundtrack.
Okay.
So
have you seen Ghosts of Mars?
No.
Oh, you've got to
No,
watch that. That is
nobody
so good.
has.
come on, it's great.
Oh,
Don't make me fight.
Does anybody remember number 4 and 5 on this list that I've got is Rosemary's Baby and The Shining. Does anybody remember those soundtracks?
Okay, The Shining, sure, but really on that list, dude, where is Halloween? Where is Halloween on that list? Because
Ghost of Mars.
There you go.
It's not on the fucking
Where did
list.
you get these?
Who the fuck made this list?
Halloween's iconic. It's an iconic. Everyone knows that.
It makes you feel some shit. Like I'm just like, who made this list? Asshole made this list. Also, going back to Alien, that shit was freaky as fuck. Everything they did in that first movie, they did great. I don't understand.
Atmospheric. Yeah.
Pissed.
Cliff, I might piss you off here, but you know what I think is better than the ones you said? Friday the 13th.
I don't care if you think it's better. I don't care if you think it's better. I don't care if you think it's better. Why the fuck is it not on the list? Why the fuck is it not on the list?
Well, who made the list? Some dude in the basement with his own.
Probably AI.
There you go.
AI might have made this list. I gotta tell you, AI makes my lesson plans like I'm like it's a shame, but it makes lesson plans like a motherfucker. I love it.
Go Spedsy.
Spedsy, click the link, join the chat because you are a handsome man, and we deserve your company. I've got 2 more books to show because we kept going on to other things. Has everybody seen 30 Days of Night?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Movie?
Okay.
Yes, movie's awesome.
Have you read the comics? Because where am I? I still haven't read this.
Well, we know you haven't read it. Claudia made that very clear.
Has anybody else?
No, I haven't read it.
No.
Not
Okay,
the book,
moving on.
Not the book, but the movie. That's the one of the scariest types of zombies that Walking Dead.
Vampires, yeah.
Slow that you can run away from, but 30 days you go.
Can you just do that again for us, Sharif, please?
That's going to be highlights.
The last one that I haven't read because I got it really cheap by Peter Tomasi is where am I? Here we go. No, Sharif, get away. Sharif, go away. Stop hogging the screen.
I thought I was bad at StreamYard.
House of Penance.
Can I control the mouse, please?
Has anybody heard of this one? Library edition?
Who? Yeah. Who's the writer?
Peter Tomasi.
All right.
Peter Tomasi, Ian Bertram, Dave Stewart, Nate Picos.
Picos?
You want to read out what it is? What it's about?
Pick nose.
Do a scary voice.
No.
Come on, do it.
No.
Do it.
Don't put me on the spot like that.
A horrific story of a haunted house and one woman's mission to wash away the blood curse of her husband's invention from claiming her own life and soul. This is the tale about guilt, ghosts, and guns, of how fortune brings misfortune as a grim and determined... I'm already bored. Okay.
What the hell? Either you read it or you don't read it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now have to thank another first-timer on Aussieverse. This is the sculptor of America. This is the cosplayer of the royalty. It is Madam. How are you going?
That's awesome. I'm coming on here all the time now.
Just for the introduction.
Thank you very much for getting up so early.
I'm
I
always
really appreciate it.
Okay.
Madam, what is a horror movie genre that freaks you the fuck out?
Wolf Creek. That
Oh, that's
one
a good
movie,
one.
Wolf Creek.
Oh, nice. An
That
Australian
one
movie.
movie freaks me out. Just that one movie. That's enough to freak me out and not freak me out.
Yo, have y'all seen High Tension?
Sorry, Mark?
Have y'all seen High Tension? Wolf Creek always makes me think of High Tension for some reason.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
Tension.
it was taken from a French it has a French name, Hot tension or something.
Yeah, and
but yeah,
even High Tension's not like an American-made film, but it like came
Yeah.
to American theaters and had like a standard U.S. release run. It's wild. But I can't think of one of those movies without the other. For some reason, my mind always pairs them together.
For our American friends, in regards to Wolf Creek, just a little bit of interesting information for you. The actor John Jarrett actually does a lot of home improvement shows here in Australia.
There's no way he's coming to my home.
No, he
I'll just tell you, he's
always at ones, yeah.
That makes sense. Over here, we have Vanilla Ice doing the home makeover shows.
That's true.
Yeah, we get that here too.
He's actually quite,
have you guys
quite
met him?
creepy in real life.
Yeah, John Jarrett.
Yeah,
he
I
was
actually think he's
complaining
an
when I
asshole.
met him.
He goes to all the cons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He complains that he
So
doesn't
when
have his own,
Claudia,
thing.
The other movie that really
when
freaks
Claudia
me out
first,
that I would really
go, madam.
The other movie that really scares the crap out of me is called Funny People, I believe it's called.
With Adam Sandler?
No.
Funny Games?
Not Funny
Funny
People. What
Games,
is
you
it?
mean?
yeah, funny. Yeah, I think
Funny
you're
Games.
funny games.
Funny
Yeah.
Games. Funny Games.
I think Funny
The Home
People Woody
Invasion
Allen,
movie.
isn't it?
Huh?
What the fuck?
It was a
Funny
Funny
remake.
People's Woody Allen
Yeah.
movie.
The Home Invasion movie, right?
Yes.
Yes, Michael Haneke directed that one, and he also directed the remake. And
The remake was with what I saw, and I was blown away by it. I thought, I'll just stay in my house forever.
The original French is so much scarier because it's before mobile phones, so you have that claustrophobia.
Oh yes.
What's Funny Games about?
It's a home invasion with a family with a mother, father, and a son, and they have to negotiate their way out of two psychos who break into their house. It's it's really messed up. It's screwed up.
Yeah, it's brutal, but it's really good.
Yes.
So a bit like
the brutal part is like how it could really happen in
Mhm.
actuality, and how easy it could happen to you in real life.
Oh, no
That's
doubt.
what I
it
think
sounds
is the
almost
scary
like
part.
the Strangers.
Yeah.
Well, The Strangers is something.
Stranger danger.
So the Strangers.
What's that other one? Sinister. That Sinister movie. That was cool.
With Ethan Hawke?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good, man.
Very good. Very creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Has
And it's
anybody
like one
seen
of those
the
things,
autopsy
it's not
of
necessarily
Jane Doe?
it's that uncomfortable
Oh,
feeling
read
like
it.
when
I
you're
haven't
watching
seen
the
it.
video of them getting tied up and thrown in the pool and stuff, and you're like, dude, what the fuck?
Mhm.
Has anybody seen this one, The Autopsy of Jane Doe?
OnlyFans.
No, I've read it, but
I have, but I don't remember it.
That
no. It has a twist
I-
which I thought was lazy. I hate those kind of twists. I don't want to ruin it, but I don't like that. I don't like the I mean, I won't
screw
ruin it, but
you,
it
because I
uses
really
some-
enjoyed it. How dare you say it? I'm not smart.
Yeah. Oh, Max.
Yeah.
Bo,
Yes, madam.
I was asking you if you could move a little more to your right.
Left.
No, right. There you go. Claudia, I love your outfit.
Oh.
Claudia,
Have you seen
I love your
Madam's
horns
costumes?
and your hair.
Yeah.
Oh, just a little more to the
Oh,
right.
thank you.
To your right.
To keep moving.
How much right can I go?
She just wants to see me.
Yep, that's all right.
There you go. Beautiful.
Hey, Marcus.
Circumstances. Click the link and join the stream, brother. Join it. Everybody is welcome.
We're also asking what's going on here too.
Yeah,
Max,
I
you
don't know.
mentioned about-
I don't know
Max, you
anymore.
mentioned about twists. I'm gonna throw out a name. M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh yeah, I love him.
Oof.
Boo.
Oh, I love him. Even though some of his stuff is kind of bland, I would say. The stuff
Early
that
stuff,
isn't
yes.
bland,
Later stuff, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
His,
Sort of simplifying his
Wait, wait.
Yeah.
Tiny, did you not enjoy Split or Glass?
What about Signs? Who
I
did
actually
Yes, I
haven't
did.
seen those, to be perfectly honest.
Split is
Signs,
Let's
madam.
talk
Signs.
about- Let's really talk about what happened to this man, okay?
Unbreakable.
MTV
What did I
ruined
miss?
his fucking life, okay? he got involved in making Avatar: The Last Airbender the motion picture, which is owned by Nickelodeon.
I forgot about that.
Nickelodeon is owned by MTV. So MTV's fat, greedy fuck fingers got all sorts into the meddling of the film. A film that he wanted to make because his daughter loved Katara so much. If you notice, Katara don't do shit in this movie. So
his daughter loved clitoris. What?
No, damn.
I really feel that movie like really hampered him like in the fabric of movie making. And then like the next one was like the devil on the elevator, or devil about the guy in the elevator, and the V is the down arrow. Right? And they didn't even say his name in the trailers. In the trailers is from the director that brought you The Sixth Sense. They wouldn't even say his name, right? So he had to slowly climb his way back out of that Last Airbender pit that was created for him. And I too blamed him for years. But as I did my due diligence and found that the MTV's grubby fat fuck fingers were all up in there messing shit up, I've come to forgive him. And I enjoy Split very much, and I like Glass.
And Climb Out he did, Cliff, because he delivered us the phenomenal After Earth with Will and Jada.
Yeah, and The Happening, like
no, we all know. When you're making that movie, you're in the goddamn pit. He's in the goddamn pit.
The Happening.
Yelling in my ear.
I have to yell.
Signs is amazing. Come on.
Signs is amazing, madam. I agree with you. The Happening, Max. What the fuck is wrong with you? The new one, the
Happening
Trap,
After Earth. Yeah, he was in the pit for a while.
Yeah,
I enjoyed The Happening.
I enjoyed Signs. For sure.
I think everybody enjoyed The Happening because you were genuinely curious to want to know what the catch is, what the hook is, and there was some wild stuff, but everyone was just like not impressed with the hook. It was kind of the thing.
Yeah, well, that's the biggest strength, and that's the biggest fallback of his film.
Yeah, that's the biggest risk of doing movies of this format or writing books where like people are buying it for the prestige. They want to see what the turn is. And I was fine with it. It didn't bother me none. And I've rewatched The Happening countless times. And I know it's been memed to death now with Mark Wahlberg. What's happening? But I thought it was enjoyable. But Unbreakable is by far his best film.
Oh, incredible!
Yeah,
I love
that.
Samuel Jackson and Bruce Willis. Is that the one?
We gotta go, folks. Love you. Have a wonderful day.
All right. See you later.
Cliff.
Hey, mate.
No,
enjoy the rest of your morning.
Hang on. Whoa, hang on before you go, Cliff. Before you go, no, motherfucker, he's gone. Fuck. All right. I was gonna give him a fucking outro.
It was not smooth.
You just did.
What's his outro? What does he have?
Clip that.
You just heard
He's
it.
gonna make a personalized one, Adam. As I have all of them. Okay, so I dominated the screen for a little bit with the comics, the horror comics. So now it's your turn. Mark, what are your favorite horror comics?
I don't know.
Okay, cool. Madam, what are your favorite horror comics?
Or whatever.
I got one called Halloween. That's my favorite right now.
Promotion, go.
I wonder why.
I don't read horror comics.
No, we said
okay,
horror.
that's a boring answer.
You
know, I've already said mine. Tomb of Dracula and Werewolf by Night.
Okay, SingleIssue Steve.
Probably this.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Horror comics I've read.
Didn't even think about that. It's
It's
amazing.
a very, very good series.
It's so
Very
good.
good.
I won't even waste my time on the DC versus vampire shit that comes out now.
It's not bad.
My favorite
That's
horror comic
right.
is also my favorite comic in general, and that's From Hell.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that is like a book.
That is yeah. You cannot take this on flights. Like that would-
He's Max.
Doctor's office, no, living room, no.
It scares the kids.
Yeah, you know, I
Max,
love
is
it.
the
Dialogue
movie very different?
The movie is its own thing. I think it stands on its own merits, but it doesn't have the erudition and the research as From Hell. From Hell is very, very grounded, and no one has any special abilities. The cop, the protagonist, if you could call him, is actually quite a mediocre cop with a very bland insight into his detective work. And
Okay, yes or no would have done. Sharif.
Sorry.
Something more recent, body horror, Mortal Help.
Some Joe Bennett.
No, Claudia, you tell him the horror. You had a perfect opportunity to say my sex life. Okay.
No, look, no, but I will show a horror manga that I really like,
hang on.
which is Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh, Tokyo
Tokyo
Ghoul.
Ghoul, okay.
Nice
Very
choice.
gory. It's very fucking good.
I can't see it.
Awesome
Bigger
anime
bag.
series and manga. Yeah, Tokyo Ghoul's awesome.
I've never finished the anime, funny enough.
What's
But
Tokyo
yeah.
Ghoul about, Claudia?
Well,
Don't put me in the
There's-
spoiler. I can't
Wait.
explain myself.
Okay.
I don't. It's one of these things that I don't know how to explain it without spoiling anything. But if you're into gore and
Okay,
That's
and
actually
I
what-
didn't actually say what my favorite horror was.
don't care.
I didn't say what my favorite horror was, and it is my friendship with this guy right here. That is my favorite horror right now. Every day I wake up screaming that I'm friends with this guy. Okay.
That's it. I'm stealing Eddie and Flash.
Eddie and Flash are our fur babies. We named them after symbiotes. That's who he's referring to.
But I actually,
okay.
in all seriousness, I actually do like Blair Witch and the Conjuring comics. Like they're kind of hit or miss, but when they're good, they're good.
I agree with you, Tate. I think the Blair Witch, when it first came out, was a good watch for sure.
Yeah, well, the movie, but also the comics. There's comics.
I had no idea.
Uh-huh.
How did they
I
do
think
the comics, Tate? Because
I think the comics were like a continuity. Was it a prequel or a sequel of the movie?
It's been like 3 years, but I want to say that it's kind of a sequel, but more kind of like the way that the newer Blair Witch was, where it was still connected, but it was a new group of people. And it kind of delved a little bit more into the history of the actual Blair Witch, like the actual story.
I did a bit of research on the Blair Witch comics. It didn't seem like it ran for that long. I think it was just only a couple of handful of issues.
Yeah, I have 4 books, I think. So
I think I heard with the Blair Witch movie, they like told all the actors like nothing about it, basically, and like just told them like little bits at a time so they could act it out, so they wouldn't have any idea what was going on.
they would leave them like a milk crate with that day's pages and maybe a little bit of props they were maybe supposed to use and stuff like that.
And
They
an
didn't-
MRE.
Possibly. And they also didn't tell them about the night when they were going to be outside throwing rocks, and that the most famous scene where she's crying and
I think everybody's going to remember Blair Witch as the girl with the booger in her nose.
Yeah.
But it wasn't very for the
I
time.
didn't notice, but I'm sure I couldn't see it when I
I
see
think
it.
another movie where there was very little direction given was also what was it, Paranormal Activity. Two non-actors, and it's what was it, on a $15,000 budget, and the director just gave Skeleton a bear story. No, go act.
I thought an Alien too. They didn't tell everybody what was going to happen. Like when the alien bursts out of the chest, they didn't tell the actors what was going to happen.
Yeah. No, they told Ian Holm. He was the only one who
really?
knew. And that's why you look at Ian Holm and he's like, because he actually his character knows the research of Utani and the aliens, and he's the only one who expects it. Watch it again, and you'll notice that his character, Ian Holm's character Ash, knows everything that's happening throughout the whole film. And yeah, that's the layers that's involved in Alien. It's incredible.
So cool.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I love it when they do that.
Yeah. And
all right, everybody,
really
we only have at the very maximum 20 minutes left, because your Friday night greatest show in the freaking world. Legion of Comics is going to be going live, and we cannot be going over their program. Why is that, Mark? With your
That's
exciting
fine.
voice.
You can. That's fine.
He doesn't give a shit.
Eminem is ready for.
That didn't work. That's a bad idea for you. No.
Mark, can you rap a little for us?
Mm-mm.
He's still half asleep.
Even Obama was rapping, I thought.
Yeah, check the polls. It backfired, I think.
I think it did too.
Madam, what is the scariest cosplay that you've done before?
That I've done? Lucy, probably.
Yeah.
Or I'd say the scariest one, probably Vampirilla, because her
Yeah.
costume is like, 2 pieces of dental floss. That's the
scariest one. Steve,
Yeah.
Mr. Music Head, what is the first band that you think of when you think of horror music? I know that's a little bit weird to think of, but what is it?
Well, obviously, for those of you who know, I'm a big metal head, so metal is my genre. And this time of year, probably the one thing that always comes to mind, I have a little tradition, and I've had it now since this album came out in '86. Every single year, I listen to the song Halloween, which goes for 13 minutes and 18 seconds by one of the greatest power metal bands of all time, and that is Halloween. The album Keeper of the Seven Keys, Part 1. Yeah, as soon as I think of, Halloween and scary shit and stuff, it's a great track, really, really good track. And then the track after that, Follow the Sign, is just an instrumental, and it's really creepy and ambient. So it, finishes the album off really, really nicely. So for me, I go straight to Halloween every single time.
Did you have that there planned for that, or?
Oh, hell yes, I did.
Did we practice that?
Yeah.
Okay.
He has a t-shirt on at the start as well, if you didn't notice.
The Halloween t-shirt on and
what is
everything.
this one?
Oh, Guar, yeah.
Guar, yes.
Well, I'm gonna say King Diamond / Merciful Fate, Cannibal Corpse, and the new band that's around right now is Ice Nine Kills. They literally do songs about Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff. It's pretty great.
The other big one.
Tate, you got to ship
The other big one is a black metal band from Norway called Mayhem. And one band member killed the other band member, and another one of their band members actually shot himself, and his mate wears a piece of his skull and a necklace around his neck.
Oof. Oh my god.
That's so metal.
I think we just went at a little extra level there.
All right, before we go, ladies and gentlemen, is now that time for...
It's time for the Aussieverse Thought of the Week.
Oh, me straight away. Great. Excellent. Cliff, thanks for your invite to the Swingers party. I'll politely decline. But have a great time.
That's all I'm going with.
Free shit.
The business
Free
card,
shit.
Hang on.
business card is back.
And the QR
other
code,
way.
if anybody's... There we go. Scan me.
Well, I think we should all take Cliff's example and make it a habit to wake up every morning at 5 a.m. I think, I think there's something called the 5 a.m. Club. Google it.
Life.
Yeah.
Do you think the 5 a.m. Club has anything to do with the High Mile Club?
I can tell you it
I'm
does
ashamed-
not.
I'm
The
ashamed.
High Mile Club.
Miles.
That's what I heard too.
Is it called the Mile High Club? I don't know, because I don't belong to the club, Steve.
The High Mile Club, you dumbass.
The Kilometer Creamers Club.
That's better. That's better.
I think I can safely say Halloween is a dentist's holiday.
Hey, yeah.
Andy.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Like,
What
it'd be
the
my
hell
cool
is
to
that?
like extra this off a couple times, but I mean, it's pretty cool.
That is so smart. Which one is it?
Light up,
Sorry.
and then you got a mirror, so you can.
Oh, cute.
Oh, you could get one of those.
Yeah,
You
I'm
need one,
bougie.
Sharif.
I think you've just made a new best friend there. Okay. I really stuffed this up. Hang
It
on.
was so
One
shiny.
sec. Oh my god. What am I doing here? I do not know how to use StreamYard tonight at all.
Stop drinking.
You froze.
No, I didn't freeze. Is there a question involved in this?
Thought of the day.
The winning
What is
team
it?
And now
It was
it's
the-
time for the Aussieverse thought of the week.
That was my thought.
He just thought it, and that was it.
That was it. Yeah.
That was fucking horrible. That was horrible, Mark.
It was great.
Well, my thought of the week is that the Aussieverse is a pretty fun place to hang out.
I thought you had a comic.
I do have a
Because
comic,
I'm
but I didn't know that was a thought. I do
I
have a
thought
comic.
it. That's what I just thought.
See, Mark thought of it. So yeah, thank you.
Where
Mark.
is your
Yeah.
comic?
Check out Split Vision Press and the Shift Project
On Kickstarter.
on Kickstarter. It's pre-launch right now. January will be the live launch of the actual
Now's the
campaign.
time to try to get everyone over there.
Can you
Yeah.
share a link with us, mate, or is this something I should be googling?
Please.
No, I can share a link with you.
Yeah, but it won't work because we're American.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, does that matter?
Yeah, Bo doesn't have any moderators, so nobody can share it properly.
Yes, I do.
You do have one.
You know what? Screw you. I'll make it take one right now.
Just write it down on a piece of paper, take a photo of it, and send it to Bo.
That'll do.
No, that's why you have mods, so you don't have to do the work.
I'm going to drop a link and it's not going to work because you don't have mods, but there's the link. And I can put it in the private chat where you can actually click on it. So it's
Is
in
it
the
I
private
always
chat.
forget, is it managing or standard moderator?
What?
Is it managing or standard moderator? I always forget.
Doesn't matter.
You can do either or.
Okay.
Like, managing you do obviously a little bit more.
Mark, you are now moderator.
Great. Just followed
Tight.
it. Number 24.
Yeah, I put it in the private chat so you can get right to it. The link, if any of y'all are interested in this project that Tate's working on with a few other people here in the YouTube community.
Tate, would you actually
He's not
usually
here,
I just
but-
say this because I'm trying to be nice. Where the fuck did he go?
He the fuck went to get you a link, I think.
Okay. Well, Mark, then you talk about this. What is this, mate?
I don't know anything about it.
Let's all speculate. Yeah, so it's
No, what it is, it's a
Oh,
they
I
came up with a story concept and they handed it to I think 4 different artists to interpret it as they see fit. So the book will include the same story but from the vision of 4 different artists.
Yeah, I know. Tate
Okay.
is one.
Or what Mark tried.
Comic Journey is the other one. Brandon from Dismay Comics is the other one. I don't know. I can't remember who the 4th is though.
What they meant to say was, try to imagine what would happen if a group of artists were given a single script for a comic book and told to create a world as they individually thought it should exist. No boundaries, just imagination running wild. That is exactly what you have here. Welcome to the Shift Universe.
Sure.
Have you thought about becoming an announcer, Bo? Like some sort of
A
boxing
few people
announcer?
have actually said that to me. Yes, I have thought about it, but F it.
He thought about it, but he's
Thank
not
you.
allowed within 500 feet of schools now, so he can't go.
Thank
Mate,
you,
we
Mark.
are
And
like 40
thank you, Bo.
We are like 40 subs away from 1,000, and as soon as we do that, I am just quitting work and retiring from life and
We know you're not
Staying-
quitting
Gonna
work.
need
Then
more.
there wouldn't be workplace Christmas parties if you did that.
Yeah, and I think if you're quitting, I think if you're quitting at 1,000 subs, there's some questions to be asked here.
Yeah, like how dumb are you?
Mark told me that when you get to 1,000 subs, YouTube pays you $500 a week minimum.
You wish.
Are you telling me Mark's a liar?
On this, on everything else, no. But on this, if he said that, then
Yeah,
yes.
if I said that, I'm a goddamn liar.
Yeah, maybe 5 cents. 5 cents a video might be more like it. Oh.
They do
That
better
is
than
very,
that.
very depressing. I need to cancel an email that I sent to my boss. Cool. I'm happy to keep this going, but I really don't want to step on your toes, Mark. So are you going to be leaving to go to your own channel? Because the common sense answer would be yes.
I feel like you're kicking me out, so I guess I
Don't
gotta
we
go.
still have
Right?
8 minutes?
Mark,
I'm
you
not
can just hang
kicking
out
you
here.
brother.
Just hang out here
I am
and let
ecstatic.
Rob.
Off this show. It doesn't take any time. He's got to prep. What's he got to do? Put his hoodie up
Anytime
higher?
What? No, I'm ready.
Ready for my next show.
Anytime we have people on the show for the first time, it is always exciting because what is this? This is old news. What is this? This is even older news. What is this? This is freaking awesome new news. What is this? This is great freaking news. And this has been a long time coming news. So no, I am not canceling the show or stopping it unless you turn around and say in the private chat, motherfucker, get off the show because everyone needs to watch me now.
No, we'll just say it live. Motherfucker, get off the show.
Well, I'm about to hop off and I'll be back.
I put your swinging. What the hell was that?
Mad Spidey is on his road to what, 700?
Yeah, still trying.
Okay, so we should have said that more exciting because that's what people like. And Mad Spidey is on the road to 700 subs. If you do not know this channel, this guy has statues and comics and DVDs all coming out of his ass. They are just pouring out there. It is like the massive gap of the, what's that huge canyon in America? That is Mad Spidey's butt, and everything is coming out of there. And this guy has so much stuff. It is really, really disappointing that he has not made it to at least the level that Aussieverse has, which is 953. Suck shit, Simon. But you should be there very, very soon because you have a fantastic channel and everybody needs to sub to you. Max Ferrada has his very own comic. It is called Stellar Lands. It is an absolutely freaking awesome space adventure that has very character-driven stuff there, and you're clicking things and it's making me distracted because you stuffed up my stream. Okay, and then we also have Madam here who likes to put up videos about her sculpting and doing a whole bunch of other things, and then she deletes them. So if you don't watch them really quick, well then suck shit to be you. And then we also have this guy, SingleIssue Steve, who is the rock god of Aussieverse. He goes to gigs, he posts the videos, and all he does is talk about music, and it's, you know, kind of annoying, but I love it because he's a great guy. And then we also have Tate Knight, who is a guy that has been commenting on Aussieverse videos since day one, has a weird sort of friendship with my girlfriend. I don't know where that came from, but that's fantastic because he's really polite to her. And then we also have Sharif, who refuses to have a comic book name, and it really pisses me off because we have OmniBeau, and then we also have SingleIssue Steve, and then we have Sharif. That is boring. Dude, get a fucking name. And then last but not least, no, Mark's gone. That stuffs everything up. Okay, we are done. Aussieverse, motherfuckers. What does that mean? Go for it.
Take a breath.
For life.
You want some water?
Okay. Because Madam probably doesn't know that because I'm assuming she pretends to watch Aussieverse and not.
No,
really
I don't.
actually
I've
watches
never
it all
watched
the time.
Aussieverse.
Madam, you're breaking my heart. Mad Spidey, what is
Sorry, but
Aussieverse?
Isn't it nice I showed up now?
That is right. He got the answer
There you
right.
go.
Max, you've been on the show enough that if you get this wrong, I'm going to bitch slap you, motherfucker. What is Aussieverse?
For life.
That is right. Next time, say it with more enthusiasm. Sharif, what is Aussieverse? That is correct. SingleIssue Steve, sing it like a rock god, motherfucker. What is Aussieverse?
A show run by a dictator. Sorry, poor
Oh my
life.
god. Am I the dictator? Tate, what is Aussieverse?
I'm hearing that it's for life, right?
That is right, you beautiful fucking god. Okay, madam, what is Aussieverse?
What?
That's a backwards L, but yeah, that'll do. Okay, cool. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today. A little bit of strange. Remember to subscribe, everyone. You're freaking awesome, man. Good work. King Diamond. Yeah, what? Okay.
A little late, but
cool.
a good entry.
And before we go see Legion of Comics straight after this show. I'm going to be joining it. I'm guessing Madam is. Spidey isn't because he's probably working. My other Aussieverse panelists, I'm going to try and convince to go there. Tate, you're at least going to be commenting there. Whack Comics, don't know where you went, mate, but nobody subscribed to him because he's just an absolute prick. Go see Stellar Lands because that is an awesome comic. Go sub up to Mad Spidey because he needs to at least get to 700. Cliff, what the fuck happened to you? And is there anybody else I'm missing? No, okay. Claudia, end the show, please.
No.
Yep.
No,
End the show. End the show. Okay. You know what we did forget, actually?
I feel like this is
we forgot a
harassment,
quick
though.
word from our sponsor. Yeah, that's probably
Comic
true,
Book
actually.
Room.
I'm so sorry. We forgot a word from our sponsor, Comic Bookaroo, Australia's #1 online comic book store.
Comic Bookaroo, proud sponsors of Aussieverse for all your comic book needs. Graphic novels, hardcovers, omnibuses, single issues. Don't forget to pre-order every Sunday at Comic Bookaroo.
Why am I still on the show?
Because you're ending it. You're ending the show.
I'm ending the
So
show.
do something spectacular.
Okay, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I am going to end the show by saying bye. Thank you.